name, I guess. That's like the... I don't really know. I could call myself anything.
Yeah, it's probably best to keep it as your character name, just so if people are watching, they know who you are. Alright, I might have to send Bo a message to see what's going on with him. Zerks, it looks like you went back to your account display.
It's showing Zerks for me. I don't know why.
Oh, there it is. I fixed it. Yeah, it's weird how they do it. Because your account will be displayed as the same as your character if you use the same name, so you got to figure out which is which. It's kind of a pain. And it doesn't save it too, so every time you leave, it puts it back to normal or to the default, which is your account. It's not ideal. Alright, so yeah, I'll give him a few minutes and hopefully he shows. Looks like Nalo, you would be up for scribe duty. Are you okay doing it? For taking journal today?
Alright, wait, it's talking to me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nalo.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'll do it, yeah.
Right.
So, no, I misheard. I thought you were talking to someone else.
Oh,
Bo.
no worries.
I will do it.
Awesome. Alright, and I think Bo just arrived. I believe I heard her scurry, I should say, right? Are you there, Scurry?
I heard a voice, but it didn't sound like the voice I know for,
Well, he's muted right now. Maybe he's just getting set up.
Probably.
Alright. Well, it's going to be session 4. And as I said, we have a new player, Tal, who's coming in to take the 5th spot. I'm probably going to bring him in just as we go, figure out a good spot.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, what's up?
Alright, there we go.
Is that Scurry?
Yeah. It's me.
Alright. So why don't... Yeah, session 4, Nalo is going to be Scribe this week, and next week, Zach, you're on deck for Scribe. And Scurry...
Still gotta finish it up for last week.
Scurry, you were a previous Scribe, right?
Yeah, I gotta make sure it gets uploaded today.
What about Zerks? Why is it back to me?
Zerks is after you.
I'll do it first. I don't care.
Did Zerks not go yet? I mean, in the beginning, we were kind of shuffling around because people came and went when we were setting up. Do you want to go first, Zerks?
No, that's fine.
Alright, let me put you next week then. Oh. Alright, so... Let's see, Zerks. Alright, so Nalo, then next week is Zerks, then back to Zaquine, then Scurry, then Tal, because he just came in, so usually I put them at the back of the order. So, Scurry, can you give us a quick recap of last week?
Alright, so last week, we practically went to see the local baron. We talked with him. He offered us a quest to retrieve the dagger, same as the criminal organization we had previously talked to. After that, we went ahead and rescued 2 farmers from a farm. From 2 hobgoblins and a ogre. We tried to tame the ogre for a little bit. That didn't work out, so we executed him with a hobgoblin leg that smelled like mutton. Meanwhile, my character Scurry went to the criminal organization to discuss potentially creating a forgery of the dagger once we have it to scam the local lord into giving us the money, for his quest as well. And then we went back to town, and that's pretty much where we're at.
All
I
right.
think that covers it.
Yep.
Other than me, starting to learn alchemy, but that's.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So you had gotten back to town. I believe it's about 11 a.m. The townsfolk are ecstatic that you were able to rescue the farmers. What does the group want to do? I have you as being at the barracks. Did you go see the mayor?
Yeah, we went and got the
Yeah, we
gold that
did.
we left
Oh, that's right.
And-
Yeah.
from the troll and not the troll, sorry, the ogre.
Yeah. So Lord Blackwater had offered to give you a scout, I believe, right? If you joined him to help you find the area that you want to go to. And I think the rogues made a similar offer.
They did the same thing, yeah. Pretty much the same offer, except they offered less money.
Yeah, I think
What it came down to.
Blackwater offered a little bit more at the start.
The rogues offered 500. The baron offered us 800.
Yep. So yeah, what does the group want to do?
Alrighty.
Well, I, for one, think it'd be a good idea to go ahead and sell our chainmail and bow that we got off the hobgoblins.
Yeah, let's go get that and see if we can procure more of the healing potions.
All right. So you're gonna try to sell that stuff in the marketplace?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull Zach aside and hand her the potion, saying, and just like, you don't seem like the one that could possibly heal. I can do it to myself, but just in case, I go down, of course.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
You can heal, can't you not?
Hmm?
Nalo?
Oh no, I don't have the potions. It's just you and Scurry. I didn't really pay. I was pretty much poor. You guys deserve.
No,
the
I'm
potions.
saying we you and I are magically inclined and capable
Oh,
of healing
yes.
ourselves.
Oh,
Let's
that's
give it
true,
to people that
yes.
can't heal
Oh,
naturally.
true. I agree.
So if they're sneaky and fast, maybe they can get to us in time.
Of course.
If one goes down, perhaps.
Unless we let you die. Kidding.
That gives you the side eye, like the eye just fucking like lizard eye goes.
They die in combat before drinking the potion. You run over as fast as you can to loot the body.
And you just keep on running.
You got 3 rounds before he wakes up or before he dies.
He's gonna be really pissed.
Scurry, it looks like you're showing as your account picture, so you might have to change to your character. Because yeah, for some reason you can't just set that as your default to be your character. Alright, so you're currently outside kind of talking about these things. Yeah, you're fine. It's, as I said, around 11 o'clock in the afternoon. A couple of people walk up and smile and maybe shake your hand as the day is pressing on. What do you all want to do? You said you were going to go to the market to sell things, is that right?
Yeah, we're gonna go sell the.
Well, that's what I want to do.
So,
Me and him.
if we don't really have a plan, I'm gonna go wander, I guess.
Alright,
Oh,
anything...
we should be back in 3 hours then. We can all split up. We should meet up
Sounds-
at Blackwater in 3 hours, I think.
Do we all want to work with him? Do we want to take his offer for now?
Why are we meeting up with Blackwater?
Yeah.
For the scout.
Shock says, yeah, we decided that we're going to take his help.
Unless you don't want to take the scout in case we don't want him too close to us.
I'd honestly prefer we go with the Blood Hand.
Okay. So
No.
blood. I see. Discrepancy.
All right,
Or disagreement.
Let's sell some stuff, sell our stuff on the marketplace, and then get somewhere private where we can discuss something. Because I've done a little bit of talking while you guys were hanging out at the gate and already on your way to that farmland, and I'd like to take you guys in on the little plan that I've concocted, and see if you guys are game.
All right. Tavern in 3.
Yeah, sure. We'll meet up there after we solve everything.
Shock nods. He says, I'll be there as well. Is there anyone or anything else you need done before... well, are we setting out today or are we setting out tomorrow?
Well, it's early in the day. I don't see why not today.
Alright. I'll get myself ready then and I'll meet you in 3 hours at the tavern.
Is your female friend going to be there?
He looks at you for a moment. Give me an insight check. He says, I think it would probably be best if she stayed here. She's still recovering from that ordeal with the bandits.
Sounds like you're trying to keep your lass out of trouble. That's not an issue, of course.
I was just asking if she's going to be at the tavern.
Oh, yes. Melody is, she's still recovering, but she should be in high enough spirits to have some drinks with us. Sorry, I thought you were asking if I was bringing her with us on the trip.
No, I was just asking if she's going to be at the tavern.
He nods. Says, all right, friends, I'll see you in a bit. And he takes off. Alright, so you said you're heading to the market. It doesn't seem like there's much of a market to sell what you're selling, especially right now with how poor the town is and how bad the economy is doing. So it's probably going to take some work to try to sell this stuff. So go ahead and give me a, I'd say persuasion, unless you have a skill you think you could use better.
You want an individual roll or just a group roll?
I would take up to 2 rolls from the group if you all want to work together.
Ah, dang. My persuasion's been terrible lately.
All
I
right.
do a performance to like try to attract people over.
Well, it's more figuring out who would buy. I guess you could just stand there and yell that you're trying to sell armor. In that case, performance might help.
Sort of like do some bard stuff, like going for one, go through. I don't know. Probably not though.
Yeah, well, how about I'll give you all I'll give up to 2 of you persuasion at advantage since the town is liking you right now.
All right. So Zerix rolls one more time, and then I'll roll the other
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, good job.
Thank you.
So, looking around, you do find one merchant who actually came in with the caravan you defended, and he is a little bit interested. He says, I don't have a direct use for it, but it might. I might know someone a couple towns over who can buy it, and basically he offers you 20% book price for it.
I say it's fine. It's up to Scurry though.
And that's fine with me. We're just trying to get rid of it, so we're not as encumbered. We can move on.
So you can sell those things at 20% book price, Tim. The weapons and the armor.
Alright, I'll have to figure out what that is, but I'll do that.
2 hobgoblins worth of armor.
It was full plate, right? Or half plate?
No, it was
chainmail.
chainmail.
Chainmail. I got you.
Yeah, chainmail. I think long bows, maybe, if you took them.
I took one of the long
I
bows.
took one. He took one, and we've got one in the party treasury, which we also sold.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you got those, and yeah, whatever else you took.
I thought
Yeah,
we
I'm
sold the
calculating it out.
bows earlier.
No,
that's
I
a
thought we sold the
different-
bows. Oh
different
no,
one.
that was different. Okay.
Yeah, you sold the original bows from the first carriage attack, and these were new ones, I think.
I see. I thought we sold something to get the potions.
We sold some other armor we got from the first couple.
Oh, okay. I see.
All right,
Just different
so
armor.
that earned us 40 gold in the party treasury.
So we just want to go buy that other potion? With it? Or we want to hold off on that?
Do we? I mean, we can hold on to it. I think we're good for now.
I'd say we grab the potion. You never know.
How much were the potions again? I forgot.
30?
30 gold, yeah. You were given
Alright.
a discount because I think you rolled well on the persuasion.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say
Alright,
we
so we'll buy another one then.
He only had that one left too, so it's just the last one.
Yeah,
He only
that
had 30.
was Doru, if you
Yeah.
remember.
And then
Yeah.
your mentor for alchemy.
All right, so you go over to Doru. You're speaking with him, and he is actually talking to someone else right now, who would turn as you approach. What do you look like, Tal?
I like quite tall, a bit over 8 feet. Short red hair, chainmail armor, with a shield equipped, which has like a sigil of a two-handed axe on it. Really young, like almost a child. Past pubescent, but yeah, really young.
All right, and what do I guess Zach? You're not with them, right? Or are you?
Nope.
All right, so Zerx, what would you look like to him?
He's about 6'3", 6'4", tan skin. Middle Eastern, but like Arabian Nights kind of thing. Like, and he's got a glaive on his back and a two-hand scimitar, but right now he's carrying a sword and a shield at his side. And he's covered. He has a bunch of these decayed charms. Like they all just look like the religious symbol, but they're all in this just aged. They just look really old. Like that's and worn.
Oh, do you have any obvious weapons or armor, Tal, or did I miss that?
Yeah, I a chainmail shield, and I have mace on my side.
Okay. What about Scurry? What would you look like?
Alright, well, I'm Panther Tabaxi, mostly shrouded in a cloak. At my side, you can probably see the hint of the rapier hilt. And if you've got sharp eyes, you might be able to spot the outline of a short bow on my back underneath a cloak as well.
Alright, what about Nalo?
I'm sort of a unassuming halfling. I've got a nice pack on. My clothes are sort of ordinary. Although I look better now than I used to. I sort of have nicer clothes right now.
And he's had a meal or two.
Had a meal or two.
He's finally eaten something. Alright, so Doru looks at the group and he looks to Tal and he says, "These are the heroes of Chaur I was telling you about. The ones who helped get the caravan in." And he looks back to the group. He says, "Tal was actually just asking around about you all."
Oh really? Oof, you're a big fellow. Don't meet many as tall as me or more. Oh wait, how tall is Scurry? Is he my height or is he shorter?
How tall are you?
6'3".
Yeah, about there, I'd say.
Okay.
I'm honestly not sure what the height ranges are for.
Neither am I,
Foxy.
honestly. I didn't think they were that tall. But then again,
6 to 7 feet, so yeah,
Oh, yeah,
somewhere around
okay.
there, probably a little taller.
okay. I'm meeting too many tall people lately. I don't like it. I like this little one though. I like being tall. Oh, that'd be funny. I'll do that later though. Alrighty. Greetings. So you were asking about us. How can we be assistance?
I was the one who was
Sorry.
wanting to be of assistance. I heard you did some good around town here, and was wondering if you could use some help.
We're
We could always use help.
everybody could use help. And based on your armor and your attire, what skills would you be able to bring to our party?
I can fight. I've been training a lot, and I can treat wounds as well.
Okay. Would the symbol on his shield, would I be able to do a religion check on it?
Yeah, sure. Is
Mm,
that a holy symbol on your shield, Tal?
Yes.
All right, so yeah, go ahead and give me a religion check.
Negative. I don't know shit. I'm drawing a blank.
Sure
It must be
looks
one
like
of
a
those-
symbol of some kind.
must
It's
be one of
got
those new,
shapes to it.
it's one of those newfound religions, man. I don't know shit.
Well, what brings you all back to my stall? Dorian
we're
says.
We're hoping to procure that last potion, if you don't mind. If it's still
Ah,
available.
yes. Well, you're probably, as I said before, the only ones other than Blackwater who might buy it. But yes, I do still have it. And he brings it out from under the counter. He says, and I'll even still give you that 30 gold piece price we agreed upon.
Well, that's very appreciated.
Very well, here you go.
Alright, so you slide a bag of coin over, and he gives the potion to the party. And he says, anything else I can do for you?
Not that I'm aware of, unless you have connections that might have information on where this camp could be. We're still trying to figure that out ourselves.
Well, I don't go outside of town much these days, especially with the hobgoblin attacks that have been happening. I think you might want to speak with Blackwater. He'd be the one who would have the information.
And it comes with a price we are not too keen to agree to at this time. We wish to not involve in the politics of this area as much as possible.
Well, if I do hear something, I'll be sure to let you know. You're staying at the inn, I assume? The Darkwater Inn, perhaps?
Yes, I believe.
Maplewood, right?
Oh, the Maplewood, yes, also a fine establishment. All right. Well, I will, as I said, I will come look for you if I hear anything.
That would be much appreciated, thank you.
All right. Good luck to you, friends. He just goes
Just
back.
out of character, the Maplewood was the one you were staying at, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you remembered it.
He
My
just
brain
is-
is just...
He just assumed everyone goes to the Darkwater, because that's the more popular one. Alright, so he goes back to cleaning out his stall. Looks like he was cleaning up a little when you all came. And Tal sort of joins in to speak with you all a bit. What do you want to do at this point? It's probably been about an hour and a half since you
And so,
started all this.
I will tell Tal what's been going on, and I will refrain from sharing the information between the Black Hand and the Baron, what we got going with them. And I'll ask him, so are you from this town or just a traveling?
I'm just traveling through here, looking to help whoever's in need.
All right, so we just happen to have an activity planned that we could use extra hands for. That said, when it comes to the payment and all of that, the way that we generally do our finances is that the money earned by the party goes into the party fund, and then anything that's necessary for party expenses get covered by that, and any personal expenses you might have will be covered out of the party fund if it's applicable, and if not, it will come out of your own pocket. Obviously, if you're trying to buy something for more than reasonable, we can provide some extra funds for you.
Seems reasonable.
Out of character, if all the money goes in the party fund, but we're not allowed to use the party fund for personal things, how are we supposed to buy personal things?
say-
We'll
I would
allocate
say-
whenever we go to a city. Okay, we want to do some personal stuff. Here we go. Everybody takes 50 gold out of the party fund.
Yeah,
That's what I'm assuming
that's
anyway.
reasonable. Or basically divide it like the party fund's there collectively, but take 10%. Everybody owns 10% of the pot at any given time.
Also, I think Scurry is the treasurer, so he actually just has all the gold on him.
Yeah.
So if he were to die or go missing, we'd lose all our gold.
Until we find the mythical magical bag of holding that everybody shares for some odd reason. Somehow everybody has access to all the time for some odd magical reason.
Eh.
I know.
All
I
right.
trust
Well,
Scurry with our gold.
in that case, how about we all head back to the inn?
Uh,
The newbie can have a drink, and we can discuss what I was talking about earlier in private in our rooms. And then we
Mhm.
can join back down at the bar, have a final drink, and set out once Shaq appears as well.
All right. So the group is
Alright.
traveling. Or go ahead.
Oh no, I just said alright.
All right.
Let's go.
So the group travels south, heading over to the inn.
I'm gonna check on Carter to make sure he's not being abused.
That is exactly what's happening.
I was about to say Carter is probably being abused out in the back of the tavern. You would probably see Carter is once again being knocked around by Zach, as is usual for this time of day. He seems tired, but he's enjoying the sparring.
Hey, you're doing better. You stayed on your ass a little bit longer that time.
What? Oh, yes. Hey, Zerx. He's breathing a bit hard. He says, "Well, it's difficult, but I think I'm getting the hang of it a little bit. Zerx or Zach isn't knocking me down quite as much."
Yes, you never know when they might need it to survive or protect somebody you care about.
Zach, what would you look like to this new person, Tal?
She's staying cloaked. She is a completely cloaked figure.
But like, what sort of like weapons would he see? Like what, like height? Any like skin tone? Like anything that he would see?
She's about 5'3". Has a rapier on her and grayish silver skin.
Yeah, you would see this this mysterious figure sort of standing over a heavily panting Carter, who's kind of like half standing, keeping his wooden sword up as best he can, and she might kind of glance over for a second at you and, I don't know, maybe give you a nod or something, though you can't really see her face very well. And Carter says, "Oh, does this mean I could take a break? Can we go get some drinks or something?"
That's up to Zach. I mean,
He
seem
looks
to
to
be,
Zach.
We do have issues to talk about. So it's probably best Zach joins us. Hey Zach, come on. Leave Carter alone. He deserves a break.
I'm gonna cook excited and go, run.
He quickly runs away while Zach is distracted.
I
Runs towards town, or towards the marketplace, maybe. Alright,
Alrighty.
When she turns back and he's gone, she's going to look fairly disappointed.
You'll get to torture him more later.
This is Tal, by the way. Zach, he's new, potentially. We
He
might
says he
add
wishes
him
to
to
be
our
of help.
group.
Oh, was this one not too scared to talk to us?
I,
Hey, he's a quiet guy.
I just wink awkwardly a bit with my hand.
Ah.
So I know you prefer to skulk around and just follow us.
Oh, me? Yes.
She called you out. I'm gonna get it.
All right, let's go and talk. Maybe we can
Figure out what Scurry's got planning.
yeah, Scurry said something about the group we're dealing with. And then I kind of move closer to Zerx and I whisper to him and say, should we include Tal on the conversation or should we exclude him for a bit and then invite him in?
Invite him in. If he's prepared to risk his life, he should know what's going on. You do know.
I'm
Alright.
not one to pry. You
Just so you know,
I'm-
Cal, the odds of us dying is very realistic. If that is something you're okay with, then you're welcome to join.
so are you having this conversation out back, or did you head into the bar to talk?
Right now we're still out back.
Okay.
allow me to disagree on our odds of dying, though.
Yeah, I literally got the shit beat out of me by an ogre earlier.
Oh no, we're probably gonna die.
It was not pleasant. It hurt a lot. Still
but
think
we're
my
gonna
ribs
die
broken.
for money, baby.
You look fine though.
It just like cracks the rib right back into place. There we go. That's better.
No, he's mostly healed. But let's go inside. I suppose we can trust Hal. We won't let him out of our sights, just in case he's a spy or something, you know.
I want to look at him closer. You said he looked like he's like babyface young looking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's very young and very tall, apparently.
Am I here for this, by the way? Like, am I
Uh,
standing around here?
I think, well,
You're
yeah, I
the whole
think
party was there.
If
everyone
everyone's
was
out back,
there.
I'd be out back too.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think everyone kind of went out back when they got there and saw basically
I
the sparring that was going on. Unless you didn't want to, you could have sat down. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll be there, so I'll just respond then.
Uh,
So, alright, so I get it, and you're more than welcome as a part of this team, and obviously we don't want to necessarily keep any secrets from you. That said, what I'm about to tell my party members here might be some sensitive information, and while I don't mind telling you once we're on the road, I prefer while we're in the city that it stays under,
No,
privileged
no
eyes
offense
only.
taken. Totally understandable. No offense taken.
we can't tell you though that we are dealing with the Blood Hand. So if you don't want to get mixed up with them, you should probably not deal with us. But if you're okay to,
I'll wait
Go
till
for
we're
it.
in a private area and say, so you have no problem with an oath of silence in this matter, do you?
I will stay quiet.
I said an oath.
oath of
An
silence.
oath. I take out my other holy symbol that I have on a chain around my neck, and I swear on Erathis, I will not speak of this outside of this party.
Very good. Alrighty, I think that settles it. A man won't lightly take an oath on his god's name in vain.
All right, I'm fine with it. Scurry.
Very well. Fine with me.
Zickline is going to make a groan when she sees the holy symbol and his little oath.
And I'm
see.
just gonna I'm gonna gesture at my chest. Really? That's like there's like 30 something plus charms all across my body. Like, really?
Scary will look slightly like disapproving as well, but won't mind. Doesn't care enough.
And after that, it's like each one's a fallen comrade. Just so.
Let's see. All right, well, let's head up to the room. We have a lot to talk about, guys.
Indeed, we do.
All right. So
Now
as
that
you
my fun's over.
as you head inside, you see Shock is sitting there with Melody. He gives the party a nod. He says, "I was enjoying watching Carter get his lesson. I'm sorry it is done with. Are we going to speak somewhere else?"
If there's a private area that you think would be suited, that'd be better.
Yeah.
I think Carter's about ready for a real weapon.
Shock laughs. He says, you're a bit hard on the boy. He's still learning. He just joined us a couple of days ago. I don't know if we want him stabbing things quite yet." And Shock laughs a bit. Melody,
He's gotta find his fire first. Then maybe.
Melody nods. She says, "Yeah, give him a little bit. He's a little bit inexperienced to be carrying a weapon." Shock says, "I was carrying a weapon at his age." She sighs. "Well, just means I might have to heal him up when he stabs himself by accident." She sighs. Shock says, "Well, if we're looking for some place to talk, I think the tavern does rent out private areas. I think they have a couple of rooms in the back we could use. Should I
Or we
inquire?"
could just go up to my room.
That would be great if you could
Um,
inquire for a short.
I don't think our rooms are big enough to hold everybody.
Shock
Are they?
would nod. He says, "The rooms are a bit cramped. I would rather have a table and food while we talk."
Yes, if you don't mind acquiring, I would appreciate it.
And he nods. He says, "This one's on me." And he goes and talks to the waitress, who nods. He probably slips her a couple of silver, and she gives him a key. And he unlocks a room in the back that actually has a hallway from the kitchen, so staff can come and serve you here.
While he's away, I'm gonna nudge Zerx again and say like, I haven't really dealt with Shock too much. Is he trustworthy? Do you...
He is a man of honor, and he seems to want to do the right thing. I trust him.
Which, if anything, might bring us trouble in this upcoming conversation, but we'll see.
All right, I just nod slowly.
All right, so yeah, he takes a seat at the table and kind of motions for you all to sit as he closes the door behind you. He says, "We should be undisturbed here."
Very well. I guess I'll take the lead then, as I'm the only person in the know about this at the moment. First things first, what's about to be said and discussed here could land any person knowing about it in considerable danger should anyone rat us out and talk to certain people that it involves. So I'd like everyone here to just confirm that they will not rat out anybody, and that if they do, that they thereby, incur the wrath of the other party members, because that is just something we don't do. Even if you
All
don't
right.
agree with it necessarily. We
I
can
nod
keep it
and
civil.
cross my heart.
Shock nods. He says, I don't know who I'd rat you all out to. It's not like I have a loyalty to anyone else in particular. You've all proven to be trustworthy companions, so I agree. I will not say anything.
Alright, so I have discussed the possibility of this little idea of mine, and it seems feasible enough for me to bring it up to y'all. You see, as you might not know, Shock, or might already know, we've been offered 2 deals to retrieve this dagger from the Hobgoblin captain. Is everyone aware of this?
Yes.
I nod.
Give me a... Shock gives you an interesting look. Give me an insight check, anyone who wants.
I will partake.
Alright, so Zach, you may have noticed when the dagger was mentioned, Shock almost gave a knowing look, like maybe he knows something about the dagger, or maybe was surprised by the mention of the dagger. But he doesn't say anything. He says, this dagger, did they say why they want it so much?
Well, it seemed to be quite vague. It seems to be related to elven history. The Blood Hand wants it because I'm assuming it belonged to the leader of the Blood Hand in the local area here, or at least somebody she's affiliated with, considering she's also an elf. And then Blackwater, I can only assume, wants it for less, decent purposes.
He says, well,
Then you
Black-
take
That's
the
decent purposes. You think the thief organization wants it for better?
She said it the
Frankly, yes.
Well, from what I know, Blackwater is a collector of antiques and magical trinkets, so it makes me think this dagger might have some kind of magical properties.
Oh, I
Yeah.
perk up at this and I say, really magical? Like, I could potentially identify the magical properties of the dagger. My old master taught me that
might come in
trick.
very, very handy once we acquire it.
But
That
then
said, yeah, go for it.
Oh, I kind of look down and say, it is pricey though. I'd need a pearl, a 100 gold piece pearl, which doesn't seem very feasible.
Yes, we will acquire it what we need when we need it. It won't be a problem.
Exactly. We'll see what it comes to.
We can
Shock,
incorporate the price of it.
I think, well, I know there's a jeweler in town who sells rare jewels, Shock says. I think he came over with us on the caravan trip, so maybe he has the pearl.
It might be so kind and generous to share a little bit of favor our way when we ask.
Says, well,
But anyways, what is your plan, Scurry, regarding this?
Yes. So to summarize it, I don't like Blackwater. I don't like these rich folk who use their money and influence the mal with the common folk. And I'd be more than happy to make them a couple of gold lighter. So my suggestion, and it's feasible, I've checked with the Bloodhand, is that once we've obtained this dagger, we will go ahead and side with the Blood Hand on this one, for lack of a better term. And at that point, the Blood Hand will help us in forging a replica that will be believable enough for us to pull off a bait for Blackwater, acquire the sum of money he's offered us for it, and we'll obviously share part of the gold that we earn from this with the Blood Hand again, but we'll be able to cash in twice on the same dagger.
And then be beholden to the Black Hand, for they could threaten us with blackmail at any time. And
The
then
Blood
have a
Hand is
noble-
just as involved with it as we are. If
and
they,
but they don't care about their names being known, being dirty.
oh
They have-
yes, they do. If they are now suppressed by Blackwater actively, they wouldn't have a place to stay in this town. The only reason that they're still here is because there is an atmosphere of Blackwater not really caring, as long as they don't meddle with his affairs too much.
And they'll just relocate. This is just one faction of them. There are many of them, are they not? They'll relocate,
Yeah, well,
and then we'll
Then
have
we'll
a network.
relocate if that happens, and we'll hunt them down. They won't do it, I don't think. They're in.
And then you want to anger a noble family such as powerful as Blackwater?
I don't trust either of them, but
I
I
agree.
would
I'd
rather not get involved with the Blood Hand.
I'd rather not get involved with either one of them, to be honest. I'd say we take.
Might I
we-
do a perception check on Shock right now?
Sure. I would say it's more insight than perception.
Oh, insight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to. I'll take. I'll partake in that as well because.
So
he's gonna have.
he well with a 14, with a 23, definitely. He seems a little uncomfortable with the conversation, especially the part of maybe like trying to trick Blackwater. You would just note his he's kind of like shifting a little uncomfortably, like trying to not like he's trying to be shady or anything, but just like trying to yeah.
You
Do I
seem
notice
very-
that, or only Zerks?
I would say both of you because he's not hiding it very well. I'll say that.
Go ahead.
Shock, you don't have to partake in the second half. Once attaining the dagger, you can help get the gold reward from the Blood Hand, but then have no part in deceiving Blackwater.
He says, yeah, I was going to say Blackwater's family is fairly well known. They have quite the presence within the capital. I believe his mother is second on the council chair in the entire empire. So I don't know if I want him
Yeah.
as an enemy. And the Blood Hand are all over the place. Being that I do caravan work, I would pretty much be dealing with them in every city. So I feel a little bit iffy about hoodwinking either side. I don't
And
want
being involved in either side, it basically be neutral and let this dagger go to auction at some reputable place and let the biggest bidder win. Blackwater will be more than happy to show up and come get it regardless of where we're at.
Well,
And
as
if they want it bad enough, the Blood Hand, they'll get it. They'll try and get it their way. And
So
we
we're
can do it
trying to
anonymous.
set up an underground auction now.
Not an underground auction. We do it by the books.
Shock says, well, we could just see which side's willing to pay more for the dagger and deal with them.
Yeah.
Out of character, real quick, did we agree to work with the Blood Hand,
No,
or did we
didn't.
say we'll
We
wait?
didn't.
We'll hold off for a little bit and then maybe
hold
come
off.
back to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll say we'll come back
we
to
told them. We told them both that we didn't agree to work with either one.
Yeah, I think
Alright.
at this point the group is kind of neutral, and both of them offered you a scout that could help you get to the base, and they offered you different amounts of money. Though the Blood Hand went first, so they might be willing to up their bid. You would guess if they knew you had a higher bidder.
All right. So fair enough. I can tell, but I can read the room. We clearly are not trying to do Blackwater. I'm fine with that. I do like the secret auction idea. That said, since in order to do that, we can't affiliate with either side. We'd have to
And-
find the camp ourselves.
Find their camp ourselves, and then we notify the leaders of both parties. Say, biggest bidder wins. It's simple as that.
I'm down.
And then, but to agree to even have the option to bid, they have to agree that no harm feelings. This is just a matter of business.
I was gonna say I like the auction idea, but it also opens up more risk. They're willing to fight the hobgoblins for it, and the Blood Hand are
But
Pretty
they don't-
merciless.
I
we're
mean,
not
They
gonna
might fight
tell
us
them
for it.
that-
they're
we're not
letting
gonna-
us fight for it.
Yeah, so we're not going to tell them we're going to do this. This is not something where we get the dagger
That
and
is
then
true.
we go.
We haven't affiliated with either side. Their pockets can talk. I very much agree with the idea, and I've already got an idea of where the camp might be. Because
And I
during
also-
our conversation with the Blood Hand, they actually let it slip that it's somewhere north of here.
Okay, very good. I'd say,
Shock
regardless of
says,
who wins the
go
auction,
ahead.
we could see if we can network and see if we can work with them on a more neutral basis. I don't want to be beholden to any party at this time. I have,
Oh, that's fair. I can get the Blood Hand to the table for the auction, and we won't be affiliated
and
with
I'm
him.
sure he'd be more than happy to show up to an auction of some kind. He seems to be enjoying the power, and just the idea of getting another toy for his collection would be more than enough.
I wasn't
Very
going to
well.
say anything, but I'm curious who this big fellow is, and he points to Tal. I don't think we've met. And he smiles and says, the name's Shock.
I'm Tal. Hi.
Well met, Tal. It's rare I see someone as tall as you. God, you're as big as that ogre they felled.
I look to the two tall guys next to me.
I'm
Well,
putting
they're
my hand
still-
up to him, trying to I know how tall that ogre was, and I'm like, no, Elizabeth, no.
He says, well, you're 8 feet, you said, right?
6 feet.
Oh, why did I think you were 8 feet?
You s-
Okay,
oh, I
that
thought you said
makes
you were
more
8 feet.
sense.
Did I? Oh,
Yeah.
then I misspoke.
I was gonna
I'm
say
sorry.
that was
That's okay.
that makes more sense.
Now that makes me feel so much better. Okay, never
Yeah,
mind. Never
yeah,
mind.
eight
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I was
I was
I'm
gonna
sorry,
say,
when you
because
said
I
you were
was-
It's okay. It's
dude,
okay.
I was trying to figure out what race you were.
Yeah, I thought
only
you were
thing I
like a
could think was
Goliath or
a
something.
Goliath or something. That's the only thing I could think of, like a babyface Goliath. Like if he's a
No.
Goliath and he's that looking, that young, he's probably like 13 or something. He's still growing.
No, I misspoke. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
That's
That
okay.
makes
It
more
would have
sense.
been. You should have rolled with it and been a Goliath. That'd be awesome. A Goliath.
He says,
You should be 6'5".
all right, so yeah, if you're like around 6'5" ish, Shock would just he would nod. It's less crazy then, but
Yeah,
he
yeah,
would nod and
that's
say,
crazy.
well, you seem like you have a bow and a sword on you, so I'm guessing you're some kind of soldier like me.
I have a mace on me
Oh,
and
yeah,
a
sorry,
shield.
mace
Yeah.
and shield. Yeah, it looks like you're some kind of soldier. Do you hail from around here? I don't think you came over with the caravan. I don't remember you being in our soldier group.
I travel alone. I do mercenary work mostly.
I see. He says, well, it's good to meet you, Tal. But the other thing I was going to say, there are actually a couple of things I wanted to mention. The caravan, if this dagger is the one I'm thinking about, then the caravan was transporting it here.
I figured it was one of those extra packages.
He
Or
nods. He says it was the package that was I was trying to defend. I thought I delivered it to Blackwater, but if that package didn't have it, then we must have lost it during the trip, maybe during the battle. So that's why I'm assuming Blackwater hired you all to get it back. I guess that means it was stolen during the fight, unfortunately.
Well, if it's Blackwater's dagger, then it should go to Blackwater.
Says, well, from what I know, he was buying it from someone and trying to sneak it into town. So yes, I assume he has paid for it already.
So long as there's nothing dangerous that could be of harm to these people in this town, I do not mind returning it to him. But then again, I still wish to think the auction is fair to all parts, to Scurry at least.
I would also like to point out that he didn't claim that it was his dagger, as if he was
Well-
afraid to be affiliated with it.
That's where my concern comes from. This could be something that's illegal or dangerous, or something that's probably would be more in line with the colleges around here. They regulate the magic, correct?
Well, the Phoenix College, but they're not around here. Shock says. We're out in
But in the general, they would probably not condone regular people of any kind owning magical artifacts of any significance.
This as well. Pardon my orcish, but fuck the colleges. I have no respect for those people. They're plenty corrupt, just as the rest. These organizations.
What it stands at, it's probably Blackwater buying a item that was forcefully taken from a previous home. Because that's how most of these items regulate. I don't mind returning it to him if his pockets are deeper than that of the Blood Hand.
No, fair enough. So long as it is not something that could be harmful to the people, I don't mind. So long as we know what its purpose and what it's capable of doing. If that is something we can find out.
I could identify it, yes, but I do need an
We
owl
will-
feather and a pearl.
We will get you what you need before we decide to hand it over. I don't
So-
We'll
think we'll just
probably be
hand-
able to pay for that with the reward for getting rid of the hobgoblins by going to the mayor first.
Yes, just even the ears alone might be enough if we get more ogres.
Exactly.
Shock says, well, how are we going to find their camp? What were your thoughts on that? If we don't take one of the scouts to show us the way, how are we going to find out where they are?
Well, we know they're
I-
north, and we've still got our good old cart idea we didn't get to use.
Says, well,
I also could provide some help there if
Are
you
you-
give me an
are you-
hour and access to the market.
oh, what are you thinking?
What do you need? What do you need to be able to do what you do?
I have a pet I can summon.
Okay.
Hmm? What kind of pet?
It's an owl. It's yeah.
Is that so we can get the feather?
No. This is it's a celestial.
Okay.
I have that
Do you need
watches
something for
over
the
me.
market, or do you just
I-
need the?
I need incense.
Okay, yes, we'll go gather you incense, but let's not do that in public. I don't know how the people would feel about magic casting in this area.
Shock says,
Yeah,
are you a wizard of some kind? You're the most heavily armed wizard I've ever
have-
seen.
I have wizard training. It was part of my upbringing.
Oh,
Really?
interesting. I didn't
No,
think
this-
wizards could use armor or weapons. You learn something new every day, he laughs. Alright, well. Yeah, just let me know if I can help you somehow.
Let us go acquire his incense, and then
All right. But
And
before
go
we
from
go,
there.
do we need anything in particular? We should probably meet up at one of the gates in an hour or so and head out, unless we have other business in town.
Well, where are we gonna head? Are we just gonna walk north and hope we bump into it? Shock says. That's what I'm kind of wondering how we're gonna find this place.
Mm.
There's a lot of stuff to the north of here.
There is the issue if we take one of the escorts from either Blackwater or the Bloodhound, we're sort of, I don't know, we're no longer
Impartial.
non-affiliated.
Yeah, I don't think they'd be happy if we took their escort or their scout and then just decide to sell to the other guy.
Yeah.
I say
How
we
big
go
is it?
north. We do the same thing that we were planning, aka just trying to find some hobgoblins and then have them lead us back to their camp.
We could also it's very, very risky, but if they're willing to take hostages, we could have someone go in, taken as a hostage, and then follow them back. And then once the hostage is relatively close to the encampment, you can sort of spring upon the hobgoblins and take them out again.
You know, I have heard they've been abducting people, but that is extremely risky. They could just suddenly decide to execute one of us if they think we're dangerous.
That is
I don't
true.
like that
It's probably a
much.
last resort.
So
Yeah,
scary.
I can't find it.
Were you saying question these hobgoblins? You think they would tell us where their base is if properly motivated?
I think with a bit of proper motivation, anybody's willing to tell me anything.
He says, I don't know if I feel good about beating one of these things to the inch of death, but if we're not taking help from one of the patrons, that might be the best way.
We could also potentially, if we had the money, buy over a hobgoblin potentially. I don't know if it would work, but if they're hired hands and not necessarily too loyal, you could just buy them out.
We'll see if we
Promise.
can convince them before we can take it out of them, if that makes sense. We can
Alright,
try
I agree.
reason before the fest.
Although
Carrot
we are
tends to
very
work.
poor, so
I know, but if the leader all of a sudden disappears, there's new people that need to lead their merry band of mercenaries, isn't there? We can do some haggling with that, or at least
That
some
is true.
convincing, potentially. We'll see.
Well, apparently, from what I'm hearing, there are groups of roving hobgoblins attacking farms and looting. So, I'm sure we could find one of them and see what we can work out. But just let me know what you need. I'll be here. He says, there's not really much to do with all the issues outside of town right now. And he takes a drink.
Well, I'm ready to head out up north. See if we can
Alright,
fight
well-
hobgoblins.
Let's plan to meet up in, let's say, hour and a half at one of the gates. It'll be
Northern
about
Gate.
midday. Alright, Northern Gate. Sounds good.
All right.
What do you want to do for the hour and a half?
I'll look around. And I think I'll go and leave by my own.
Alright. Works for me.
All right. So, does anyone have anything they want to do for an hour and a half, or you want me to just pass time?
I think Tal wanted to do something.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the market, see if I can buy 10 gold worth of incense from my own money.
All right.
And-
Yeah, if you go to the marketplace, actually, the one you were talking to before, what was his name? Doru would have a bunch of incense he could sell you. So you can buy as much of it as you want.
Yeah, I don't have too much gold, so 10 gold will be enough.
All right. So you
And
buy
then
the
I'm gonna
incense.
try to find a
I'll
brass
give him 10 gold.
brazier.
I'll ask him to give Scurry to give him 10 gold out of the treasury. If it's for the purpose of finding them, the hobgoblins, it's for the parties at benefit.
I don't mind. It's my first day, I can pay it myself.
You sure? This
Alright.
is not as cheap. In the hour, I'll go out to Zach and see, and I'll hand it. Offer the bow that I have. See, is this something you can use?
Mm,
What is it?
I
The
can
longbow?
use it, but
Oh,
I
this was to Zach. Sorry.
Oh.
Zach Quine.
All right. Well, let me
Oh.
finish with Tal real quick before that.
Sorry. Go ahead.
So Tal, you spent 10 gold pieces. You bought yourself the essence or the what was it you were buying? The oils or incense?
incense,
Okay.
charcoal, or herbs.
And you were going to try
yeah.
to summon a familiar.
Yeah,
Where are you doing this? Like just in the middle of the market?
I'm gonna ask the guy I just bought it from if he knows any brass braziers around.
I have a brass brazier. Yes. I think also if you go to the Shrine of Palor to the east of here, they have some braziers as well. I mean, brass braziers aren't that expensive. I could probably just sell you one for, I don't know, maybe a couple silver.
How heavy is it?
I mean, a brazier is not that heavy. Is this for Find Familiar?
Yeah,
Let me check something. Find Familiar. I'll say the 10 gold pieces would include the brazier. It's probably like maybe a couple pounds, like 2 pounds or so.
well, if it's not too much trouble, then I'm gonna try to find like a place that's a bit hidden where no one is likely to see me and just burn the incense and summon my familiar.
Alright, so maybe you go over to the edge of the farm here, where it's not too populated. Give me a stealth check with advantage, as there's not too many people around here.
Stealth.
Alright, 10. Alright, so you are summoning your familiar. Zerx, what were you doing? You were going to go talk to Zach?
Yeah, I was gonna see if I was gonna offer her the longbow, see if she something she could use or would be interested in using.
I don't think I can use that.
Okay.
I have a little one though.
Oh, do you? Where? You seem to keep it hidden quite well then.
It's in my bag of stuff.
Well,
You
alright
have-
then.
I think you have a short bow, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Because rogues, I don't think, can use longbow unless you have that skill from a different class or race. But
Yeah, I have
anyway,
a short bow.
okay. Anyone else doing anything? Alright, so Tal, you would summon your familiar. Luckily, no one seemed to disturb you or come to the area. And you said you're summoning an owl?
Yes.
Alright, so there is a whoosh as the light flashes and an owl seemingly appears from nowhere, landing over on the tree near you. It looks at you curiously. Hello, master, you hear in your mind.
Master? You,
Yes, you summoned me. I'm here to serve you.
I am the one who serves. Our goddess.
Oh, alright. Well, I will assist in serving the goddess as well.
And I will, like, make him fly on my shoulder. And
Alright, so
just,
he flies down and balances on your shoulder.
and then I'm gonna head back to meet the others.
Alright, so, well, actually, I think around this time they said they wanted to meet at the northern gate, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so you would go up there. There's a couple of people already hanging out waiting. As the hour and a half comes to the full length, the rest of them would arrive. So I think you said an hour and a half, right?
Yeah. Hour and a half.
Alright, so it's getting close to probably 2 p.m. or so. You would see the guards there. They would probably give you friendly hellos since they know the party pretty well at this point. Maybe talk to you all a bit. You would see Tal come in with an owl sitting on his shoulder. And we'll say, yeah, the rest of you arrive as it gets to about 2 o'clock. So
Well, that's not very discreet, is it?
Did Shock have a Sorry, I guess I should have said this earlier when you said people. I want to make sure that we have a cart just at the gate.
Sure.
Did
So
Shock bring it?
Shock could bring your donkey and your cart. The cart is not very stable. It's like 2 wheels and a bunch of planks of wood. It's the one you found in the forest, so it's not like a
I see, I
carriage or
see.
anything. He would say, we could bring it with us, but if we decide to travel off-road, we're going to have to abandon it. There's no way this thing's going over the plains.
Yeah.
Tal, how well can your owl scout ahead?
I mean, she can fly above and probably see further than we do.
And
I have never tried it.
how long will she be with us? Is there a time limit? I don't understand this magic of yours.
She is with us forever.
Oh, wonderful.
I
Until she
can.
dies, or can't she die?
She doesn't die. She just. I have to resummon her if her physical form gets
Ah.
damaged.
I see. I see.
Well, if you don't mind asking her to go scout ahead and see if she can find and then look for a campment of hobgoblins.
How far away from you can she travel?
I do not believe there's a limit.
I see. Okay. Well, I don't imagine she'll see very much through the tree cover.
If there's an encampment, there should be a gap in the
Yes.
trees.
If there is an encampment, if it's any large, we should see a gap. And also, if there's any fires, especially if it's nighttime, or if it's nighttime, you can see the fire from the day or the smoke if it's daytime.
She would say within your mind, Master, I can fly as far as you wish, though remember, I can only communicate and give you my vision within 100 feet of you.
I will tell her to scout ahead and for like 2 or 3 miles maybe, and come back if she sees anything that matches the description we just gave.
3 miles, you said?
So, or what do you think? How far out is this?
Well, I suppose you could do sort of like a zigzag sort of thing. As long as she's somewhat ahead of us, it should be fine. Like maybe, like she could be
Cover,
like
cover as much
500
area
feet.
as you can.
yeah.
If she sees any hobgoblins, just tell her to return immediately instead, and let us know where she spotted them. If she knows what a hobgoblin looks like, I don't know how smart.
Well, we can also be moving at the same time, so we should
Oh,
probably
yeah,
just
no,
head out.
That's the plan. We're gonna move forward towards the north, regardless, and then she's gonna be flying ahead of us. If she finds something, she returns.
Although I wonder if maybe she should be a bit more defensive and sort of stay around us, sort of like circling, or if she should just head
It's
out
a-
looking.
If they want to try to shoot a bird out of the sky, they can try. I don't know how successful.
Oh no, just sort of like for our protection, like if we see something around us. But I guess if we're just searching, she could just sort of cover as much ground as possible.
And just run away or fly away. Better.
That's probably the plan.
Yeah.
Just tell her to be high enough that she doesn't get shot by a bow and arrow, because who knows, hobgoblins might be hungry for some fowl.
I imagine she just rolls her eyes as she. It's a bird
Dodges.
in the woods. Like, who is gonna?
That is true. All right, I guess we'll head out then,
So,
and we'll probably leave the carriage. I brought it just in case we might need it, but we won't need it. I think we'll just
Bring the carriage
travel
just in case we
faster.
find, and then again, we'll torture the goblin in the field or the hobgoblin in the field if need be.
alright,
Okay,
so
we'll go walking pace.
you are bringing the carriage?
Sure.
So you're gonna stay
We'll
on the
bring the
road then?
Hawaii.
We'll stay on the road for now.
Alright.
Well,
Alright, so... Sorry, give me a sec. What about Carter? I assume you're leaving him here.
Yes. He is too young.
It's up to Zach, honestly.
Actually, we'll leave it to Zach.
Would he want to come?
So is Zach gonna meet up with Carter? Maybe.
So I'll say he's with you right now. He says, well, I don't know how good I'll be to you, but I'd be happy to try to help you fight these hobgoblins.
If
With a
you,
wooden sword?
He says, well, you probably have to get me a real sword, but I could stay here as well, though. Shock says, why don't you stay here, lad? There's work for you in the market. You can... He actually would say, here, have a couple of gold pieces. This should keep you good for a while, especially if you're working. And keep an eye on things for us. And he nods. He says, I can do that. If that's okay with your mom here. And he smiles at Zach. She says nothing. All right, so
Zach is
did
going to huff.
she
we have
huffs
have we
angrily.
had a long rest in before this?
Not since you fought the ogres, because remember, it's the same day. You could have taken a short rest, but you haven't had a long rest.
I don't have any of my spells. I thought we would have taken long rests.
I thought so too. That's my bad.
Well, you need a whole day to take a long rest. You can't just take one in the middle.
Yeah.
I'd say we scout for now and get the location and rest. Because if I would not be willing to venture out without my
Okay.
spells.
we'll take a
can you
long rest before we
out of
actually
town?
go attack the camp.
Okay.
Shock says, yeah, we can't always rest on the road. I assume you all brought tents and sleeping bags.
I never
Exactly.
gave back.
Yes.
I never gave this tent back.
He
I just like
nods.
bluntly.
He gives you.
Don't
a-
have either of those.
He says, well, go get yourself a tent and sleeping bag, girl. We're gonna have to camp on the road.
I think it would be fine to set out for now, get some distance in. I don't imagine the encampment of the hobgoblins is too far away, but it's probably not too close either. And
Okay.
then
Let's say what time is it?
it's about 2.
I'd say we travel till it starts to get dark. And
He says, yeah, it'll be about 6 or so hours.
Tal, can you see in the dark?
Nope.
Okay, I'm not alone. Thank you.
Did you have a name for your owl?
Thea.
Thea?
Thea.
Thea?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm making a token for her, so give me a sec. If you want to get your own art, that's fine, but I'm just using the default game art for now. Thea, so you should see her in your
Yes.
journal now. No one else should see her.
How easy is it to procure a sleeping bag and tent?
I mean, if you ran to the market, you could probably find one pretty easily. It would just be book price.
I am trying to find it in D&D Beyond, and this is not going well.
I can look in a sec. I just want to finish up this familiar for him. Alright, there we go. So Thea
Click the
has
manage
been
inventory.
created.
It's a bedroll in D&D Beyond, so
Bedroll.
Oh yeah.
you want to search
Okay.
for bedroll, not sleeping bag.
Yeah, that's
Here's
what I have.
1 gold.
Yeah, and tent is good to have, especially if you're sleeping outside, just so you don't have to worry about rain or anything.
Would we have a big tent, like a whole group tent, or does anyone have their own tent?
I assume
I have-
everyone had their own tents, but
I have a 2-person tent. That's what they provided for me.
Oh dear.
I see.
all right. So you, yeah, let's see. So yeah, I think the bedroll is a gold. I can look up the
And,
tent for you.
Tent is 2 gold,
Oh, well, there you go. So it'd be 3
and it's
gold.
2-person.
I
Unless you're
think I also
sharing.
need to buy a bedroll.
I have a bedroll, but not a tent. So if we
You're
Get-
more than welcome to share with me. I do not mind.
Yeah, unless you
But,
want to share tents, get cozy.
we have 5 people, so we need 2 more tents, I believe, unless Scurry has a tent, and Ty has a tent.
Let me check. Honestly, not sure.
I'm.
I don't know what's in a burglar's pack anymore.
No, I don't think so. I can. Can
So that would be
Nalo see in the dark?
no, I cannot.
Okay. I thought halflings could.
No,
Uh,
halflings can.
Really? Huh.
They can do a lot of cool stuff, but not see in the dark.
Well, it's only 4 gold, and I don't think we can 5 people fit into one tent. So we should probably get 2 more tents.
Unless there is. Yeah.
That's 4 gold. It feels bad, but how much gold do we have in the party treasury?
Good thing is, once you have them, you don't have to worry about them anymore.
That is true.
Unless you get all your tents destroyed by something.
And with a tent, you don't actually need a tent for sleep unless it's raining, or
Yeah, basically, like, yeah, if it's raining, or if it's snowing, or if it's really cold out, tents will help.
you'll get exhausted.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you, I think you have to make, like, some kind of
A saving
con
throw?
save, or else, like,
Okay.
you suffer a level of exhaustion.
I see.
So, it's just good to have.
We could skip the tents if we think it'll be nice out, but I'm not one for mosquitoes or anything.
Yeah, it's, let's see, it's, I think it's currently summer, or it's about to be fall, actually, because after summer, I believe, is fall, which is actually fairly temperate around here. So you're probably going to be okay.
Just grab it to be safe. There's no. We'll need it eventually, regardless.
Alright. I would go buy a tent right now, but I only have 5 copper pieces.
I'll hand them the 4 gold out of my own personal.
Alright. And then I'll rush into town and grab 2
Yeah.
tents.
Yeah, and we don't have to spend too much time on it because they'd be easy to buy. But we'll say if you want to buy a tent, go ahead. If not, then you just don't. But the group would head out of town.
And I'll hand my other tent to Scurry.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Alright, so the group is just kind of traveling north, looking for farms and trying to find hobgoblins.
Yep.
Alright, so you start heading out. Give me probably perception to start out
A group?
with.
Or just one person? Or probably Tal, actually, since he has the bird.
Owl first, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the owl can definitely do one. And I'd say if you're all looking around, then sure, you can all do perception checks. Let's see what you see in the first few hours. Or first
Zach is
hour.
going to want to ask Tal how he makes his owl come back from being dead because she's got a rat. That would be useful.
Huh? Let's say again?
It's not an actual owl. It is the owl is just the physical form. I
I
can
see. I see.
The owl.
I
Even
can
it's
get-
not actually an owl. It looks
We
like
can't
an
get
owl.
it further.
The owl
I
would
imagine
look
if
at Zach Queen and kind of turn his head or her head sideways. You can
The owl
tell
is
her
just the
that I'm a
physical
spirit.
form. She's a spirit. I can summon physical bodies for her, but if the physical body gets destroyed, she doesn't die like other beings.
Do you have any training in arcane, Zach Queen, or religion, or nature, anything like that?
Nope.
All right, so yeah, you'd be like, oh, that's weird. What the heck does that mean?
Means it's just a vessel for the body, for the soul or the spirit of the creature.
Alright, so with go ahead, sorry.
No, you're fine.
So with 13 perceptions, the owl, I think, has advantage, right?
Yeah.
Alright,
If it relies on hearing or sight, yes.
so you're kind of walking around, maybe going from farm to farm. You would note that most of these farms have been abandoned. In fact, all the farms that you see within the first hour, there's no one at them. A couple of them have been looted. Some of them have been destroyed. But you don't find anything within the first hour. At least nothing obvious.
And does the destruction look recent, or is it like old?
Most of it looks probably. Give me a survival check if you're trying to discern that. So, kind of looking at the markings, at least we'll say this one farm you found, it looks like it was destroyed probably within the last, you'd guess, 3 days. And do you think you do see signs of passage? Like the grass.
But I can't really,
is,
I can't really see any direction or anything. It's all just like, yeah, about 3 days. And that's it.
Are you trained in survival?
No.
Okay, so just looking around, it's hard to say exactly, yeah, like where they went afterwards or where they came from, because you just see markings here and there. But yeah, you would guess within the last 3 days this happened.
All right. Well, I'll tell my group that so they know. It's semi-recent.
All right. Shock says, don't one of you have training in tracking things down?
Not I.
Not me.
No.
He says, well, I guess we can just keep looking. I'm sure we'll find some hobgoblins around here sooner or later.
And just so everyone knows, we're probably trying to knock one out. So
Don't
leave
go
one
all
alive
of
at
them
the
on
very
site.
least.
Give me another group of perception checks as you continue searching the northern areas around Chaur.
And what time would this be? About like 5?
Well, yeah, it's about 5 after you finish your first round of searching. So you'd continue searching, which would be
That's
another
not
couple
20.
hours. Yeah. Nalo, so 24, 23, some really good checks there. So give me a d20 roll, someone. Just any of you.
Got it.
Alright. So I'll say Nalo. As you're going through one of the farms, you notice something odd. There's like this flower bed that looks, something just seems off about it as you're looking at it. Investigation might tell you more.
Am I in like direct sight of the? Am I like close to the flower bed, or is it sort of like off a ways?
You're pretty close. So basically, you're walking past an abandoned farmhouse. It looks like some of the windows have been broken and it's been looted. But yeah, there's just this weird flower bed off to the side that seems undisturbed.
Can I sort of like walk up to it? And I'm sort of irked, so I'll pull out my dagger.
Okay. Do you mention
And
it
just
to anyone?
slowly. No, I'm just slowly walking up with my dagger because I don't really know. It's just sort of I just feel wrong about it, but I don't know. I'm just sort of walking up.
All right, sure. Yeah, you walk up to the flower bed. It's very pretty. It almost seems unnatural in some way, like the way the rest of the landscape has been affected by like this place being destroyed, but there's this random flower bed that's kind of undisturbed off to the side.
Okay, well, I'll make a show of standing up straight and putting my dagger and walking away from it
Okay,
nonchalantly.
fair enough.
But I'll walk back to my group and I'll tell them that come help me check out this flower bed because I don't really I don't really know what's up with it.
Okay.
You're scared of flowers.
Well, I don't know. It just looks unnatural. Maybe it's like a door or something, but just disguised.
I'd
Maybe
like
it's
to pick up a
magical.
stone and chuck it at it.
Does anyone know like
I will get in
medicine
I'll get
or
close enough and,
All right.
and do
arcana?
So
a
Scurry,
divine sense.
you throw a stone at the flower bed. We'll say it hits a couple of flowers, knocks them over, and strangely enough, a moment later they stand back up. Shh. Which doesn't seem like
Pretty sure it
natural.
ain't supposed to do that.
Yeah, doesn't seem like natural flower behavior.
So does anyone want to start shooting arrows into it? Cause it looks pretty alive to me.
I'll give it a shot.
All right, so you're firing an arrow at it.
Yeah.
All right, so the arrow would fly through the air. Just again, it would probably cut down a couple of the flowers, and a moment later they would just regenerate.
So what do you guys
Alright.
want to do? That looks
Bunch
very
of creepy
weird.
flowers.
Shock scratches his chin.
I-
Says,
In what way
"Huh."
do they regenerate? Do they
They just
regenerate?
like they just grow back. Like the
Do
basically
the
where you like cut the flower off, like it kind of
I'll walk
withers
over
away,
to
and
it.
then like it just regrows the flower.
but the
I'll
cut
walk
off
over.
flower it withers into nothing, or does it stay there?
It would probably wither into nothing. We'll say.
It might be a mirage or some sort of spell that's causing a deception, not an actual living thing.
Does anyone have knowledge nature?
No.
Okay. So did
If
someone
you want
say
me to look at it magically, I could do that, but it's gonna take some time.
I'm just going like, ugh, whatever. I just walk in it.
All right. So you walk over to it. You just stepping on the flowers and kicking
Uh,
dirt aside or something.
As he steps onto it, I want to grab the back of his armor just in case he like falls into it or something, like it's quicksand. Even though I'm kind of weak, I don't know if I'd be able to hold
I
him.
weigh a good bit.
So yeah, you can stand on it. Nothing seems to happen at first. You
I-
just
I-
make footprints in the dirt.
Does anyone have a shovel? Maybe we should dig up the dirt. These flowers seem pretty special. Maybe we should pick them and sell them somewhere.
Yeah, why not? Pick one flower, see if anything happens.
All right. So Tal, you're doing the 10-minute detect magic while they're doing
I'm
this.
gonna start it. If they want to leave before it finishes, I'm down to leave.
Sure. So yeah, you'd pick a flower, and something basically similar happens where it kind of withers in your hand, and then a new one would regrow on the ground. Like I said, investigation might tell you more if you want to start examining the area.
I'll investigate it.
Nell did run inside as well.
Oh,
Oh,
who went inside? Nalo?
Nello, yeah, a little while back after you told him to. He rolled a 17.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
Yeah.
17.
That's when I was first walking up to it slowly with my dagger. But we can pretend I roll it later.
Oh no, he rolled insight.
Oh, insight. Oh, investigate. No, no,
I
okay,
guess
yeah.
yeah. Insight is based on whiz, so you need intelligence. So yeah,
I
you're
see.
looking at it, Zerks.
I'll roll another insight.
Or no, you want investigation, not insight.
Oh, I'm dumb. Yeah, investigation. You're right.
Okay. So Scurry, you're kind of looking at these flowers, the 14, and you're moving the dirt around. You notice it repairs itself as you do that, except for this one spot. You notice kind of at the top where you kind of move the dirt and it seems to stay moved. And it seems like that's happening in certain areas. And as you're investigating it, you're noticing certain areas you uncover have these strange ruins, like underneath, like carved into stone underneath the dirt. They look like some kind of magic, or like maybe some kind of ritual that was done here.
Do we see any blood?
No, no blood. But you think that you can pick up these little rocks and move them around in the garden. Another investigation might help you more if you want to keep looking into this.
No, we'll keep looking into it.
I'll just wait until he finishes spell. Well, no. After he defines the runes, okay. So do you let us know or no?
I'd like to chuck one of the stones and further into the yard.
One of the
Pick
rune
up
stones.
one of the rune
Yep.
stones.
All right, so you take it out, and you say you're just gonna throw it.
You just get it across the yard.
I'm gonna keep an eye on it where he throws it and where it lands.
All right, so when you pull that stone out, you would see all the flowers just wither immediately, like as soon as that stone left the area. And it looks like this area is now completely devoid of life.
And I'm gonna go pick it back up and put it back where he pulled it out and threw it from.
All right, so
Uh,
about this time, you would finish your spell, Tal, and there is definitely magic coming from this area. Shock says, "What is this? What type of farmer would have something like this?"
What is the school of magic?
Yeah.
That is a good question. What would this school of
Illusion,
magic
I'm
be?
assuming.
But the plants every time it was real though. But it decayed. as
Yeah,
well.
it's not actually illusion because the plants.
Um,
Let's see. Let me look at the
D-
schools. really
does
quick.
Tal announce to us that he finished the spell, or does only he know?
Yeah, so you would see his eyes glow as the magic finish or his spell finishes. And now he's kind of looking. And let's say transmutation. I think that would.
I would
fit
guess
with
the
that.
kind of farmer would have it that wants to win every flower contest.
He says, "Yeah, but how does a farmer know this kind of magic?"
Yeah, and why would the who would leave
Seems
this
like an
behind?
expensive
I
way
wonder?
to cheat.
When I
Maybe
put the stone back, did it reactivate or no?
So when you put the stone back, at first nothing happens, but then you note when you put it back to the place you originally found it, then the flowers would just suddenly poof, like pop back up out of the ground as if they instantly grew.
Was there anything in the spot where the flowers were the moment they were gone?
No, it just looked like soil, like old dirt.
Can I see any other areas of like where the vegetation is dead?
Magically, this is the only thing you see within 30 feet.
All right.
You would see there are 4 little auras, which you would guess are the 4 stones. He uncovered 2 of them, and they're all sort of at the very edges of the garden, kind of marking the area that's affected.
Is there like a natural plant nearby?
Well, yeah, there's like grass and stuff all over the place.
When he threw it, I'm actually gonna ask Zerx. Zerx, did the stone do anything to the grass when Scurry threw it away?
Did it do anything, or did it just?
No, it just sort of flew over there. It didn't seem like it itself did any type of effect on the area.
Okay.
So,
It might act with these other stones.
I'm gonna pick the stone back up, and then I'm gonna start to try and like move some of the dirt and see if it stays moved.
Does anyone
Can
have
we move?
Arcana
Mm,
no.
do you have
trained?
tile?
No, I don't have Arcana.
Okay. So you pick up the stones, and you said you're trying to move the dirt.
Yeah.
All right. So you start digging underneath. There is a bit of wood as you get to the bottom. It looks like there's some kind of trapdoor down here.
No, if I found something.
Trapdoor. Interesting. We should probably keep these stones. Maybe they're valuable. So can one of us like pocket the stone, or is it too
I'll
heavy?
gather-
Like how big?
No, they're small, like they're small circular tokens almost. So yeah, you
Yeah,
can
I'll,
pocket them.
I'll gather them all up real quick and hold on to them.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
they
I want
probably
to
don't
make
even weigh anything.
I want to make a mental note of exactly where they were located, though, to like put it to memory.
Is that possible?
To make a mental note of where they were, yeah, sure.
Okay.
It seemed like they were at the very edges, like it almost formed like a square when you first found them, like the very edges of the square garden.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna
So
open the door.
how many stones was it? Was it 4 stones, or was it
Yeah,
like
it was the
8?
four corners of the
Okay.
square. All right, so you clear some of the dirt away, and you find, yeah, it seems like a very old wooden trapdoor, which does have a padlock on it.
Any of you
I have
really
a
want to handle
I have
this
a
real quick for me?
crowbar,
Yes, please.
but I'm not very strong, so I should probably pass it off to someone else.
Shock says, should we be breaking into this guy's basement?
Well, whoever was here was probably
No,
maybe
no,
dead, or
we might be
and-
find something of use to us here, and it's doesn't seem to be something that would. Huh? I wonder. Oh,
Scurry's
this
already
isn't-
picking. He's like, what? Whatever.
I hope this isn't the
Exactly.
the alchemist's hideaway of his stuff.
Give me a persuasion check. Shock still seems a little bit uncomfortable with this. It's like, he doesn't seem super happy about it, but he'll go along with it. He's like, sure, let's break into this guy's basement. Why not?
Is it just
Well,
it's just a random field? Like it's not the farm, is it?
It's right next to the farmhouse. That's why it was kind of weird that the farmhouse was all like destroyed, and this little patch of dirt seemed fine.
Yeah.
Well,
No. If he's
At the
if
very
farm-
least, this guy wasn't a normal farmer to have this kind of thing out here.
Exactly. There might be something we can use to aid us in our journey, or return it to its owner.
I
maybe.
will assure Shock though and say that we're not looking for fights. We just want to know what's up with this.
I guess. Go ahead and give me. Actually, give me a. Well, so you open the lock. There's a click, and you pull open the door, which looks like it's been shut for a very long time. It's very kind of almost like stuck together as you pull the two wooden doors open, revealing a stone staircase going into what looks like just some basement.
Can you see anything down there? Or is
Can I smell anything? Does anything smell off?
It just smells like old musty air, like it hasn't been disturbed in a long time. So with dark vision, you can make a perception check, but remember it's a disadvantage if you don't have light. If you want to just
Can I
stay
see
in
yeah.
there.
I'll roll perception.
Any more magical auras?
Do you want me to go take a look?
So you're gonna you're gonna take a look down there with your detect magic.
Yeah.
Very far in, kind of at the edge of your vision, you do see something glowing, a magical aura down there.
There's
Does he
definitely
tell
more
us?
magic down there. Yeah,
Oh.
I'm telling you.
Well, I will light a candle.
be
That's,
careful.
pull out a
Anyone
candle.
who has this capability might have set some traps of some kind.
I mean, I'll go look if you want.
By all means, just be careful.
All right, give me a perception check. Whoever's going first to take a look.
I'm following right behind the queen with the candle, but
Oh,
It's
19.
gonna warn her when she gets close to the magic.
Alright, so as you're going down the stairs, Zach, you see something strange. At the very bottom, there's like kind of the edge of the wall that opens up into a room down there. But you notice kind of hidden by dirt is two more of those like kind of runes carved into the stone, like on either side of the entryway at the bottom of the stairs. Could be some kind of trap.
Can I do a perception check on Shock? See how he's holding up. I'm afraid he might
I mean,
just like.
he's fine. He doesn't seem happy with this, but he's not like gonna go
Oh, okay.
crazy and murder the party
I
because of
see, I
it.
see, I see, I see.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing, foreshadowing.
Can I see what skill of magic it is?
It is evocation. You see
So-
small evocation auras coming from the two glyphs that are kind of hidden there.
Are they on the ground or are they?
Or actually, no, actually, sorry, you would not see any magic coming from them.
Retcon.
Yeah, retcon. Because you would have noticed them in the beginning if you could. So no, you wouldn't see any magic coming from them.
Evocation means that someone else is actively
We don't know.
doing
You
it.
didn't see that.
Oh,
You don't know
yeah,
that.
I saw a magic aura in the beginning though. Is that further along?
That's
or
further
is
in the
that-
room. Yeah, there's something down in this basement that's magical, but those glyphs aren't giving you any auras.
So kind of wave her hand over one.
All right. So as you put your hand forward, you see the two of them start glowing.
It's gonna blow.
It's gonna blow. No, actually, as that happens, you see a point of light appear in the air in front of you. Then a second point of light.
Please don't.
Then
It's two fireballs.
a
Bye.
third point of light. And a moment later, they zip towards you. And you are hit by 3 magic missiles. You take 9 points of damage. As you stumble backwards.
Is it charging back up or is it?
The glyphs are gone. They disappeared after this happened.
Okay.
I will certainly yelp at that, because
That hurt.
Guess I'll take the lead then.
uh,
I would
Alright.
like to see if there's any more glyphs on the road ahead.
So you let Zach fall back a bit. You take a look. Go ahead and give me another perception check as you go down to the basement area. So 12. No, you see a bunch of old like boxes down here, like crates. Like I said, looks like no one's been down here for a while. There's spider webs, probably a bunch of bugs scurrying around, but nothing that looks like out of the ordinary, like any glyphs.
can I hand my candle to Zerx? And I want to like see how Zach's doing. Does Zach look bad or?
yeah, she's hurt.
Yeah, she might be kind of gripping her chest a little, like from where the magic missile shot her.
All right. I will heal her using my last slot.
Well, I don't think there's any farmer out laying booby traps in his basement, so
This
let's
does
take a
seem
look around here, see
strange.
what we can find.
The other thing that might seem odd is that usually in basements they have like actual floors, like stone floors. This is just dirt down here.
Oh wait, actually, if I rolled a 1 on the cure wounds, can I roll again?
I
my-
think that's
or is it
only
not-
for D20. Can you
Only
like
it's
the
only
ability?
20. Yeah. No, it's only for D20. You're right. You're
Yeah.
right.
So yeah, you would heal her for 3.
Yeah.
Well, she no longer looks bad.
She feels better. So yeah, like I said, there's it looks like there's a dirt floor down here, but other than that, it doesn't look too out of the ordinary.
Well, that's strange because they were definitely protecting something, but there's nothing here.
Well, you can search through the crates if you want. Other than that, there's nothing here though.
I'll search through the crates.
All right. Give me perception checks. Anyone who's looking around down here.
I'll start looking around, but
No. Yep.
All right. So Tal, you see that the aura is coming from one of the crates far in the back. Just FYI.
There's something magic over there in that crate.
Do I see anything on my 21? Looking through these crates and stuff.
So it seems like a lot of this stuff is kind of just like old supplies and maybe some like ropes and old pots, maybe some rations that like old preserved rations that have probably gone bad at this point. You do find there's about 40 gold pieces worth of arcane components down here, which is a very odd find.
Alright, I'll be writing it down in the party treasury.
Yeah. And just in case you don't know, arcane components generally can be used to either craft some sort of magical items, do rituals, or replace components with value that spells. So, like for instance, find familiar, instead of using incense, you could use 10 gold pieces worth of arcane components to cast it.
And that was what was giving off the aura, or is there something
No,
different?
that's just something that he found. Like, he basically pulled out some odd-looking pouches with powders in them, and even though you're not trained in Arcana as a magic user, you would recognize what they are.
How good is the candlelight? Like, can I move without stumbling or following someone?
Yeah, with a 5-foot aura, I'll say that you're okay. You could move around down there.
Okay, then I'm gonna take the lead and move towards the glowing chest.
Gotcha.
Ziquine is currently hovering over Sniz.
Is everyone down here?
Yep.
Hey, we're all down.
All right.
Unless Shaka's leaving, but he's probably...
No, he's still here. I mean, he's not thrilled with the idea of looting this place, but he's, you know, the party chose to do it. He's not gonna just tell you guys to fuck off. So, as you approach this back chest, something seems strange. You suddenly would hear movement. Actually, give me one moment here.
Is this just him or all of us?
All of you.
Where's the movement coming from? Outside?
No, actually right below you. You see the dirt moving, and creatures start to appear as they claw their way through. Now I need a moment.
Time to go. Let's go, guys.
Too late for that.
You'll see yourself appearing on the map in a moment. You said you had a candle, right?
Yes, we have one candle.
So don't mind the white space. Actually, let me put a stairwell so I can show you where you came down. But the dirt is kind of the area below with the crates. We'll say the stairs were back here. Actually, you guys were probably over here because you were looking at the crates. And Zach Wine. And you see strange rotting creatures pulling themselves through the floor.
Do I have to do something? All I see is black.
Oh, yeah, actually, we need a candle, huh? Hang on. Where is the candle? There you go. There's your candle. You should be able to see a little bit now, right?
Yep.
And zombies come through the floor.
Can I use... does lighting a candle take an action, or...
It would probably take an item interaction to draw, then a second one to light. But give me initiative
see.
rolls.
Yeah.
What the actual fuck?
Oh, oops. Do I have to send it again?
Make sure your token is highlighted when you roll
Oh,
initiative.
oh,
yep.
I see, I
Because
see.
it doesn't record it otherwise.
Wait, what? Bruh.
So these
Is this it? Wait, no.
strange rotting creatures kind of growl a bit as they are pulling themselves up from the dirt.
Oh no, I'll push myself towards the front with the shield out.
Oh, Tala, you may have had the candle highlighted when you rolled.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's okay. We can use it, and we'll just have you be the candle.
You do fire damage.
Yeah, you burn them. So, Zach, as these creatures are pulling themselves out of the ground, you were the first to act. What are you going to do?
So how do I highlight the thing? I'm gonna need some help with this.
How do you highlight your what?
Wait, I don't know how to
Just click on yourself.
Yeah,
That's
you have
wrong.
to click on your token.
Click on my token. Oh, oh, I see, I see, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
And then just click the initiative
And then roll.
button.
I see, I see, I see. That makes sense.
Hey,
Alright,
Is
so
Shock
what do you
fighting
want?
with us?
Yeah, I guess I was gonna keep him in the background, but I can say he's here. That's fine. It's like, what the hell? Sure, we'll put Shock there.
I guess we found the farmers that I belong to, eh? Very sarcastically.
These don't actually look like farmers. They look like soldiers, which is really weird. This whole basement's weird. But anyway, Zach, I need an action from you. What are you gonna do?
I will draw my rapier and move there.
Okay. So they are still pulling themselves out of the ground. So you're gonna walk up in front and just stand there?
Yeah, she's
You're
currently
taking.
herself between them and Sniz.
All right. Are you taking any actions, like a dodge action, or?
I will hold an action for when they get close to attack.
All right. So you ready a stab as you hold your rapier close. Scurry, what are you gonna do?
I will go ahead and head over to here, and I will use my rapier to stab at him.
All right. So they are currently considered prone, so you would be at advantage. As you stab at this creature pulling itself out of the ground. Oh yeah, 16 would strike, as he is very easy to hit. Go ahead and give me a damage roll. Alright, so you deal 7 damage to it as it kind of falls back a little, or I guess, what would the word be? Like, not shiver, but well, anyway, yeah, exactly. So it takes some damage and it kind of gets angry and keeps trying to pull itself out of the hole. Anything else, Scurry?
How hurt does it look?
It does not look hurt yet, so it's not below half yet.
Alright, in that case, I'll use my bonus action to go ahead and disengage. I'll move behind Tal, who seems to be quite armored.
Yeah. Alright, so that's it for Scurry. Zerks, what are you going to do?
I can't. It's basically what my character can see is what I can see.
Yes, because there's not much light down here. You would hear, like, in the dark, over here, lots of movement. You know what? Here, let me help you guys out a little, because there would be sunlight coming in from outside, so I'm going to put a torch here to represent the sunlight.
Okay, yeah, thank you. I'll stab the one zombie that's in front of me if it's still coming out of the ground.
It is, so the one Scurry hit?
Yeah.
Alright, so you lunge forward, stabbing at it as it's getting out of the ground.
And it's
Ooh.
advantage, right? This bad?
Those are damage rolls. I need an attack roll.
Oh, yep, my bad. Shit.
I was gonna say that was really low.
Shit, still was low.
Well, no, unfortunately, you're freaking out like, what is that thing? And you're swinging wildly, and it's just kind of
I wouldn't-
knocking it back.
I wouldn't. No, Zerx wouldn't freak out. He not at all.
All right, well, then he just swings
just misses.
wildly and
Yeah.
completely misses. All right, so that is it for you. The zombies go. So they are going to use the turn to pull themselves fully from the ground, and they are now within the room. Did everyone go? Did I miss someone?
Last with 0 initiative.
Oh, the candle after them, right? Which is Tal.
Oh,
What are you gonna do, Tal?
And what about Nalo? Did he roll initiative?
I did after.
Oh, he rolled it
everyone else.
after. All right, so I'll just bring him in after. After Tal.
Okay, I'm just gonna move next to. Oh, no, the candle.
I mean, the candle
Okay.
can move with you since if you're holding it. But
Okay,
do you have your weapons and shield out?
I think I have my shield out. Basically
All
always
right.
do.
So are you gonna just like drop the candle and draw your sword?
I thought that Nello was holding the candle, but okay.
Oh, is
Um,
Nalo holding it? I wasn't sure.
I handed it to Zerx earlier, but I might have headed back.
All right. So if you have a shield out, you want to mark yourself with this token, and if you have a one-handed weapon, you mark yourself with this token.
I should mark myself too.
Okay.
I always forget how to do that.
All right, so
Yeah.
Tal, sorry, I thought you had the candle. So never mind. Tal has his sword and shield out, and he steps forward to engage the creatures
Yeah.
that are coming out of the ground. Go ahead and give me a roll.
I'm not gonna hit it. I'm gonna cast Bless on myself, Xerx, and Scurry.
All right, so maybe before you drew your sword, you cast Bless, because I think you need a free hand to do that.
I have Warcaster.
Ah, okay. So never mind. You can do it then. So go ahead and mark yourself as blessed, as Tal chants bringing divine energies over the three of you.
And Xerx, I use my voice of authority on you, and you see the opportunity to strike.
Okay, so I got an attack, right?
Is that
Yep.
power you're using?
That is my order domain ability. If I
Alright.
can find it, I can link it.
Yeah, so link the bless, and then go ahead and link your ability you're using.
Okay, so bless. And where can I find this?
It should be in your abilities.
There, okay. Yeah, I can. Can I link this?
I think so. There should be like a button with like a word bubble, I think, to link it. Gotcha. First level. Okay, so you mark yourself as concentrating, which I'll just show you is this one, because you're concentrating on Bless. When you cast it, Zerx, you can use your reaction to go ahead and make an attack.
No, go ahead and do that, and I'll use the bless.
And I assume you do have a weapon out, right?
Yeah, I have my sword out, so that'd be a
Alright.
+4. As well.
So plus 1d4, yeah. If you are blessed.
So
Alright, so 14 would be enough. So Talus's attack, and you kind of lunge forward, stabbing this thing. Go ahead and give me a damage.
4.
Alright, so the creature would take 4 points of damage as black ichor starts oozing everywhere, and he looks wounded. Mark yourself using a reaction, and that is it, I think, for Tal. Or wait, is Bless... Yeah, it's an action.
This is an action, yeah.
Okay. So who did you bless? You said Zerx, and who else?
Me, myself, Zerx, and Scurry.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead and mark yourself. I guess with... We'll say just use this icon, the lightning, to show that you're blessed. Alright, so that's it for you. Nalo, what are you going to do?
Cool.
You don't have any of your weapons drawn just yet.
You can draw and throw a dart in the same action, right?
Yeah, so
As opposed to a dagger.
drawing a weapon is an item interaction. So as long as you
Oh,
only
okay.
use one of those per round, it's free. If you have to use a second one, it'll take your action.
Okay.
I see.
So you pull out a dart and throw it at one of them.
Yeah, I'll just pull out a dart and I'll throw it at the one right in front of Tao.
All right, the wounded one. Go ahead, give me a attack roll for your dart. 9 would actually hit. So go ahead and give me damage. 5. All right. No sneak attack.
He's not a rogue.
I'm
You're
bard.
not a rogue.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's right. I keep thinking you're a rogue. Sorry.
We don't have
alright.
enough of those. We need more. I'm thinking of multi-classing, by the way.
All right, so it gets a dart right in its eye, and it looks very angry. Still looks like it's going for Tal, though. Anything else, Nello?
I will move right behind Tao.
All right, so Shock goes at the end of the round. He's going to rush forward and try to knock this guy down with a shield bash. So stay behind me. I'll hold these two back. Take him down. Where is Shock? I was just looking at him. Here he is. Oh, 24. Good hit. Whack. He slams his shield into the zombie, who is caught off guard and stumbles back, falling prone. And he kind of moves up to engage it, trying to keep these two at bay. So that's it for the first round. And Zequine, you are up again. None of the zombies approached you, unfortunately.
And that is fine.
Fortunately.
I will go ahead and move here.
Okay. So you go to engage that one off to the side. 7 would definitely not be enough. As you stab at him, he just sort of steps to the side a bit, and you would miss. Anything else?
Nope.
All right.
That'll be all.
All right. Scurry in the back. What are you doing?
All right. I'll go ahead, move back here, and give a guy another stab with my rapier.
All right. So you kind of hop over the boxes, rushing up to attack.
How does it work again with like flanking and stuff? Oh no, that's just from a sneak attack.
Yeah, you would have sneak attack because your allies are distracting him. And 10 actually would be enough. So you rush over and stab this creature, catching him off guard and doing a sneak attack.
9 total damage.
All right.
Not the most dreadful thing if possible.
He falls over dead, but then suddenly opens his eyes again.
There it is.
That is it for Scurry, right?
Well, I'd like to take my bonus action and disengage and move back here.
I'll say
This
he's
is the crate. I'm standing next to the crate that caused this to happen, right?
Well, according to Tal, the glowing was coming from this crate right south.
Okay, yeah. So I'm standing next to it. Okay, perfect. That will end my turn. I can't do anything else.
All right. So that is it for Scurry. Nalo, what do you want to do?
Gonna you get 2 bardic inspirations, right?
I
Limited use.
believe so. Is that per? Let's see.
At least on
Yeah. So
D&D
you,
Beyond it's 2 per long rest.
yeah, and you can use a bonus action to give them to someone. And I think at higher level you get them on a short rest. But yeah.
Okay.
So yes.
I'm just gonna yell, "Keep swinging!" at Zerx because I saw him like swinging, and I think he needs a little help. He's kind of missing a bit. I missed the
Alright.
first one, but
So you yell some inspiring words to Zerx, and Zerx, you you get a bardic inspiration.
Did Zach have bless or no?
Who was blessed?
No.
Or just me?
it was Zerx.
Paul, Zerx, and Scurry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just the marked guys. So Zerx, you would mark yourself with one of these for the bless.
Yeah, I'm gonna have so many marks on me. I don't even know when at this point.
So
And then,
Nalo, anything else?
And I will throw another dart at I'll do it at the one a bit further away though. The one that's right to the
But you
bottom
already
right.
used an action.
This guy?
Oh, that's right.
Nope, bargain inspiration.
yeah, that's a bonus.
Yes.
So he's
Oh.
okay.
It says action on the thing. That's why.
Yeah,
My
you can,
bad.
it says to do so you use your bonus action on your turn to choose.
Fair.
Yeah, it's one of those weird.
It's a
It's,
type of
s-
action, yeah.
Is 7 good enough to
7 unfortunately would not be good enough. Man, you guys are rolling really low. No,
No.
that would miss.
unfortunate? All right.
Draw another dart, throw it, and it just flies past the zombie who is looking angrily at you. Or as angry as an undead could look. Anything else?
That'll be it.
Alright, Zerx. So the zombie just went down with a nasty stab from Scurry, but it's stirring on the floor, getting ready to get back up.
I'll move right there.
Alright.
And I will attack it.
Alright, so you have flank and advantage.
So and I have oh god, I have a plus 14 basically possible with all the roll bonuses right now. Hold on. Do I need it? Nope, that's
Crit.
dod.
Alright, so go ahead and give me a damage roll as you just bring your sword down on this thing as it's trying to get back up.
Max damage.
So you have to give me another d8 because that's a crit.
Right. Yep. That's
So
plus
you
2
do
damage? 20 damage?
16.
Is
Why
that
is-
adding the damage? How is it? What is there? I don't see the plus 2 on there from.
It is. If you mouse over the damage roll, it says 6 plus 2.
Oh, okay, now
on
I see
both
it.
of them.
Okay, cool.
So it takes 16, and it once again goes down, the sword right through its face. Anything else?
I'll stay there, and that'll be it.
Alright, the zombies go. So this first one swings at Shock. Trying to slam his fist. Shock easily blocks that first attack as the creature lunges for him. He says, "Back, you bastard." The second one is going to stand back up from being shield bashed. And he as well is going to slam his fist at Shock. But Shock once again brings his shield up to block the attack. This one stumbles here and tries to grab at Zerx. But luckily you spin around meeting the attack and just knock him back. And this one is going to move up this way, trying to punch at Zequine. 11 would miss you, I believe, as you jump out of the way. That's it for the zombies. Not a good round for them. Candle or Tal. You're continuing to concentrate on Bless as the zombies are
Yes,
attacking your
I'm
allies.
gonna help. Shaq was his name?
Shock, yeah.
Yeah, Shark. With his 2 guys, and I'm gonna cast Green Flame Blade.
All
I
right.
love Flame Blade.
So as you move forward, you touch your blade. Go ahead and link the spell. As fire shoots all over the. Well, I guess it's the green flame mace in this particular instance. As fire shoots all over the weapon, then you swing. Go ahead, give me an attack.
Does the attack I linked before count, or then?
Oh, I see. You attacked first. All right, so
Yeah.
17 would be enough, and you. Which one? Like the one in front?
So I attack the one in front of me. Yeah, with
All right.
this.
So you
Oh, wait.
smash him.
This is a.
So you, if
How
you
do I
click
roll the
on,
damage?
if you click on mace in the chat, it'll roll the damage
On mace. Oh wait.
in the
here?
in the chat itself. Yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
okay.
Bat.
And
So
then-
you hit him in the head for 4 damage as he stumbles a bit, but is very angry at you now, coming for a counterattack. Anything
I
else?
don't have. Yeah, I do another D8 to the other zombie with Green Flame Blade,
Yes. So good.
which I don't have in my list. Or can I? Where can I roll that?
You can just roll 1d8.
Yeah, on the left of the screen, there's like a dice button. You just press that and click the D8. Alright, so a bunch of fire jumps over to the second one. And he is burned a bit, but they both still look pretty healthy.
Okay.
Alright.
That's my turn.
Shock goes. He says, "Thank you, brother," and he's gonna swing at this one that you're going after. So he is gonna try to do another. Actually, he's just gonna do a longsword stab because he doesn't see anyone else coming over. So he would roll an 8, which is just enough, stabbing him for 11 points of damage. Good hit. Creature is no longer mad at you and is now going after Shock as it's wounded by the attack. New round, Zequine.
Let's try again, maybe this time.
Alright, so you lunge forward at the zombie. Ha!
There
yeah.
you go.
You get a nice little hit on him for how much? Unfortunately, there's no sneak attack because your allies are not here to help you unless you got, you know, like the one that lets you sneak attack by yourself.
Not yet.
Right.
I don't need nobody. I do it my own.
Alright, so you stab this guy for 7, which is actually a good amount, and he looks very upset, getting ready to counterattack. Scurry, you're done, right, Zach?
Yes.
What do you want to do?
I would like to try and take a look inside of this crate and see if I can find the reason why these zombies keep getting back up.
Alright, so you item interaction to pull the crate open. Inside there's a bunch of spiders and dust, and at the very bottom you see a strange, it looks like a charm of some kind. It has several bones that look like they are glued to a stone disc.
Does it look valuable?
It looks weird. It might be valuable. If it's magical, it's probably valuable.
I'll pick it up if I can.
Alright, so you pick up the talisman with the bones on it, and yeah, you're now holding that in your offhand.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do? I guess that would be your, that would probably be your action, because you have to use 2 item interactions that turn.
Yeah, that's fine. If that doesn't do anything, then I guess that will end my turn, and next turn I'll try and inspect it.
Alright, Nalo, what are you going to do?
Does anyone in my party look badly injured?
Did
Uh,
Zachary get healed from earlier?
Yeah, Zach got some healing from someone earlier. No one looks injured yet. No one looks like they're below
see.
half.
Well, I will move here. And can I pull out another dart and throw it?
Sure, which guy are you throwing a dart at?
At the one that's attacking Zequine.
Alright, so you hurl a dart. It does have some cover from Zequine right now.
I also have to roll with disadvantage.
No, it just has a little bit higher of an AC.
I see.
So... Sorry, I was just checking something. Alright, so what'd you get? 10? 10 would be enough, even with the cover, because luckily these things have an 8 AC. So it's struck with a dart, taking 6 damage, and it now looks wounded, and it's coming right at you, but it doesn't get to go yet. Anything else?
Nope, that'll be it.
Alright, Zerks.
Okay, dokie. Yep. I'm assuming a 15 is plenty
Uh,
for the one in front of me.
So you stab at him. Yes, 15 would be enough, and he is struck by your weapon attack for 6 points of damage. And he looks like he is coming right at you. Anything else?
Is it item interaction? Would I be able to swap weapons out?
So you could drop your weapon as a free action, or you could stow it as an item interaction.
Would it? Can I do one? Just my sword for now.
So are you looking to pull out a weapon this turn, or like put one away and pull one out next turn?
do it next turn, but I want to keep my shield equipped until my next turn.
Yeah, so then you could use your item interaction to stow your sword and just have your shield, and you have a free hand for the time being.
That'd be fine. I'll do
All
that.
right, so you put your weapon away as you hold your shield out, ready for the onslaught. And the zombies go. So, yep, this one is definitely going to swing at Tal. Let's see if I can roll above a 5 this time. Ooh, 19. Yeah, I think that's going to strike.
I'm gonna cast shield.
Alright, so as he's coming in at you, you use your reaction, throwing your hand up as a force shield appears. So mark yourself as using a reaction and spend the spell, and he bounces off of it and stumbles backwards. This is the reaction symbol, if you use it. It's right at the top here. So this one here is mad that you burned it, and it's not smart, so it's going to try to attack you as well, even though you're shielded. 6, you would easily knock it back. And Shock says, "Well done, brother." This one, I don't know why he sounds like Hulk Hogan suddenly, is going to swing at Zerx. Crit. Well, now it's coming around. You are struck for 8 points of bludgeoning damage as he slams his hand into you, almost knocking you off your feet.
Okay.
This one here is going to go for Zequine. 15, I think, would strike you.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Alright, so he slams you for 5 bludgeoning, and Zach is, I think, looking wounded. And if you get below half, this is the wounded symbol. Just so your party members know. Because Zerx is also wounded now. That's it for the zombies. Tal, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna attack the one in front of me with Green Flame Blade. Okay.
So once again, you light up your weapon.
I do have Bless if 9 doesn't hit.
9 would actually hit. These guys are
Okay.
not very well armored and slow.
So to the one in front of me, I deal 8. And
He falls
the
to
one
the
next to
ground,
it-
but then he starts moving again.
okay, the one next to it takes 1 damage.
Alright. So this one falls prone, and the one next to him is slightly burned. But he is still alive. Anything else?
No.
Alright, Shock goes. He goes, bastard! And he swings the one on the ground. He says, just die, you fucker. He stabs with advantage. 18 would strike, doing another 7 points of damage. The zombie would indeed die this time. Shock says, gods. Zequine, new round. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna hit it again, maybe.
Maybe. Alright. You would actually hit it. 9 is enough. So you stab it with your rapier, doing 4 points of damage, and it is still up. Scurry,
Alrighty.
what are you gonna do?
All right. Well, seeing as how the other two stay down now, I'm gonna prioritize taking them out, and I'm gonna go ahead, flank this guy, and stab him.
I don't know if you have enough movement to get there. Your movement's
I have
30.
30 feet
Oh,
of movement.
yeah. So you could do it with your dash if you want to use your rogue action.
I can do it with 30 feet of movement, right? Because it's 5, 10, 15.
Well,
20.
every second diagonal is an extra 5 feet.
Ah, okay. That
Yeah.
makes sense. In that case, I'll use my dash. That's fine as a bonus action, and then I'll stab him.
Alright, so you rush over behind him, getting into position. Go for him with the flank.
That means you got advantage, right?
+2.
2+2.
Oh, +2, that's right. That's fine. So that would be an 8.
You have less. You have less. You automatic. He gets a 9 at least.
Unfortunately, that is a natural 1, though. And natural
is it a
1
one
will
natural
one?
always miss.
Oh.
Yeah, if you mouse over the 6, you roll the 1.
Fair enough.
Damn.
So you stumble a bit as you're dashing behind him and sort of swing, barely missing the zombie. Anything
Oh,
else?
shit. That'll be my turn, I guess.
Alright, Nalo.
I am going to move here. And I can pull out a dagger and melee attack, right?
Yes, because pulling it out would be your item interaction.
Okay. Then I will melee attack with my dagger.
Alright, so mark yourself as having a dagger in your hand, and 11 would strike. Stab, stab, stab. He takes 4 and is looking very wounded, but it is still up.
How do I mark the dagger?
It's at the very bottom. It's this one. Zerks, what are you going to do?
So it's a free action to, like, I'm gonna equip my two-hand sword and no longer have my shield equipped, right?
So unfortunately, I
Or
think
I'll drop the shield if that's what I have to give to my attack.
well, I think doffing a shield takes an action. Donning or doffing a shield, you would lose your action to get rid of it because you have to unstrap it.
Okay. All right, then hold on a second. There was no point in doing what I was doing then.
Yeah, the shield is a little more involved than just dropping, unfortunately. I guess you could draw your sword again if you wanted.
Yeah, that's what I have to do then. I have to re-equip everything and undo it.
Alright, so keeping your shield out, you quickly draw your sword from your side.
Yep. As long as I don't... Yep. Damage...
Alright, so you lunge, stabbing this creature. It stumbles back, taking 5, and looks wounded. Anything else?
That's it.
Alright, the zombies go. This one, once again, is going to go for Tal. As he attempts to slam you with its fist. 7 versus AC would miss as you jump out of the way. This one here is going to try to counterattack Zerks, who just stabbed him. Ooh, 22. Oof.
Yep.
So unfortunately, he does clip you, but he only does 2 bludgeoning, so not a very good hit. This one, who is on death's door, is going to turn towards the little one, Nalo, and attempt to punch you. 10 versus AC, which I think would miss. So jump back. So that's it for the zombies again. Tal, bottom of the round. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna attack the alive zombie in front of me. Again, and let some fire splash on the dead zombie.
Just for the hell of it. Alright. So you bring your mace down on him, and 12 would definitely strike, smashing his shoulder. And badly wounding him as his shoulder is like all out of place now.
And that's it.
Alright. Shock is going to actually at this point move around this way, circling him as he's getting his shoulder smashed. And 16 versus AC would strike for 8, which actually does not kill him just yet. He's still up barely. That's it for him, and a new round. Zaquine.
Alrighty, maybe I can do something.
You do have flank, so you have +2. Remember, alright, so 11 would be enough as you get the zombie as he's turning towards Nalo, stabbing him right in the head. 9 points of damage. And he goes down, not to rise again. Anything else?
Not for me.
Scurry.
Alright, well this one's down, or is he...
It
Did he
looks
already go
like,
down once?
well, this one, for whatever reason, went down and did not get back up. Unlike the other ones that were getting back up.
Interesting. Well, no time to worry about that. I'll go ahead and move to here and stab this guy.
Huh. Alright, so you attack with the flank. Oh yeah, 16 would strike as you rapier him for 12.
12 damage.
That's it. he goes down. Anything
Is he
else?
showing signs of coming back up?
No, the ones that got back up just started moving again right away. But for whatever reason, this one just stayed down as well.
Alright, well in that case I'll move on to this one and I'll stab him with my dagger.
Does anyone have
Which I'll also
religious,
take out.
Religious knowledge trained?
Yes.
No.
So if you have religious knowledge on your turn, you can make a religion check to see what you know about these. Because they're undead. But, alright, go ahead. Make a bonus action offhand attack. As you draw a second dagger. Oh yeah, 17 would be enough.
It's gonna roll for sneak attack as well, just ignore it. 6 piercing.
Nice.
Wouldn't it be 3? Because you don't get your dex bonus.
Is how that works then? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
3.
doesn't
if
get
you
damage.
offhand.
Okay.
It's one.
Alright, so he does go down, but then immediately starts to rise again. So he is
Alright, we got
prone.
another fancy one.
Nalo, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna see that most are dead, and I'm gonna move this way. I should be 25 feet,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna yell to my party, "Let's get out of here!" And then I'm gonna end my turn.
Alright, do you want to take like a dodge action or something?
Sure, I'll take a dodge action.
A dog
Alright.
action.
Dog.
A
action.
dodge.
I pet
dog
dog.
action, bro.
I get inspiration now.
Zerks, what are you doing?
I'll just move in and attack it.
Alright, so as it's down, you would attack with advantage.
And I
Trying to
have a-
finish it off.
that's- If I still have bless and I still have inspiration, I haven't
Oh.
used either. Where's my?
Well, the bless is continuous. You can use that every turn.
Yeah, I just haven't had a need to, so 'cause
Yeah.
I've been rolling. As long as I don't roll a 1.
Oh yeah, 17 would strike for 9 points of damage, killing it, but then it immediately comes back to life.
Again?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
That's it.
Alright, so it stands up, very angry at Zerks. It is going to attempt to punch you. 8 versus AC, you easily knock it back. It is now Towel's turn.
Go, Candle, go!
The candle is gonna use its mace.
Let's go.
The candle
Smash.
maces it.
So 6, you bring your mace down upon it. It would fall prone,
It's Rocky Balboa. He don't know how to quit.
but then yes, he does
Yes.
get back up.
This is funny.
Alright, keep it up, lads. He's gotta stay down eventually.
Go to town. Yeah, it's bap 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 bap. Shock's like, what the hell? And he walks up here. It's like,
This one's a lucky one, it seems.
die, you son of a bitch. Oh yeah, 23 stabs him. Well, not very well for 5 damage. He gets back up. Son of a. That's it for Shock.
You too. That's
Zach
awesome.
Wine.
What are the? I want the statistics on this.
What are you gonna do, Zekwine?
Just
Does anyone
watch.
know how to kill this motherfucker?
Take its head off.
I'll probably sit my ass down. I'm hurting.
Ugh, so you kind of take 5, maybe take the dodge action.
Yeah.
Scurry, what are you gonna do?
I'll stab it again.
Alright, you stab it once more. It is still prone, so you are at advantage.
There we
Oh,
go. It's dead.
Yeah. Ah, and right through its face, and it just falls over dead. Shock stabs it a few
18
more times.
damage.
Is it dead this time?
Looks like it.
Oh, guys, we should have tamed it. Unfortunate.
You got the right idea,
Tame
my
the ogre,
friend.
tame the zombies. You should just call yourself the enemy tamers or something as your group name. Technically, you haven't actually tamed anything yet.
The unsuccessful tamers.
The tame
Collectors.
attempt
Yeah.
to collect our enemies.
So which one of you is the Beastmaster? None of us really know what we're doing at all. We barely know how the fuck we survive in the wild.
So yeah, all the zombies are dead, and it is quiet down here.
I sit down immediately, going, I
Shock
I'm gonna
looks.
I'm gonna cast Divine Sense to see if there's anything else undead or nearby.
Divine sense. No, I don't think you'd sense any other undead. So that was it.
Okay.
Shock says, "Does anyone know what those were?"
Oh, zombies. Fuck.
Zombies, like necromancer zombies.
Yeah.
The fuck kind of farmer lives here?
No, clearly a necromancer.
I don't know. Maybe someone's still here. We should probably check outside, maybe, or
He says they're wearing uniforms from Chaur. These look like town guards.
Do you recognize? Well, do they have any identifications on them, like any dog tags or anything like that?
They have their kind of old-looking Chaur guard armor, but they didn't have any weapons on them.
Okay.
Let's
I think
search
Zach's
the.
gonna go ahead and just lay down.
I say we shut the door and rest. I believe this place will be safe for now.
no.
Well, I was lucky enough to keep them at bay, but I saw a couple of take hits, and Shock walks up the stairs and pulls the wooden thing shut, and comes back down.
Can I start piling the corpses in a corner? I don't really like the look of them. I want to like drag them over here.
Yeah. Cut the heads off just to be safe. And
I'd like to take a look and see if the ones that got back up, if anything special on them.
No, they seem to all look similar. Who's the one with religious training?
Yep.
Tal. So you don't actually have to roll. These things are pretty easy to know about. I would say, well, what you know of them is that zombies are very resilient. Even when they're killed, there's depending on how much damage they take, there's a chance they'll just keep getting back up. Depending on, I mean, mechanically they make a saving throw, and if they make it,
how many times in a row did it succeed? Was it 4 or 5?
I think it was 4. But yeah, so you know that you do have to give them quite a bit of punishment to permanently put them down. You would also know that undead often have an essence that can be collected from them that can be used to create religious components or for like special crafting. So if you want, you can attempt to collect it.
Okay, sure.
Give me either religion or alchemy check.
I don't have alchemy, so...
Alright, so you collect... let's see... about 10 gold pieces worth of zombie essence from them. As long as you have something to put that in.
Yeah, good question.
Do you have like a pouch or something?
Yeah, I have a pouch.
Alright, so yeah, you can use a pouch to do that.
Should I mark this in the party treasury, or...?
Yeah,
What is
or
it?
your own, if you want to keep it. I mean, I don't know, however you all want to do that.
So it was a 0.004% chance of that happening. I just like statistics.
Yeah, it was pretty good rolling on its part. But, yeah, so you're taking a rest down here? Short rest?
Does anyone want to keep watch? Or should we all just hope that nothing happens?
Yeah, I need to sleep. I need my spells.
Me too. I wouldn't be able to cast any other magic today that isn't small tidbits.
I'm going to give myself 4 points of for my lay. Or I'm gonna give Zach 4 points of hit lay on hands, and then there are 3 to me. But that's everything I've got left.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to say those stones up top were actually necromancy auras, since necromancy can be life magic. That would make more sense.
Did he?
Alright.
Did Scurry tell us what? Did he show us what he found, or let us know, or?
Oh, that's true. Did you say anything, Scurry?
Thus far, I thought not. Kind of.
He went to the bathroom, I think.
Oh,
If he
right.
didn't, I'm gonna check out the chest if there's something in there, because I remember the aura.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can,
so...
can you still see the aura? Is it maybe with
candle's gone
Scurry
out.
now?
Uh,
Our table. It broke.
mean,
Well, the torch went out because you closed the thing, but you can bring the
Yeah.
candle over. So I think detect magic is concentration, right?
Yes, so it's
So
gone
when
when
you
I
cast
Con-
bless, yeah, that would take it out.
Yeah.
You can try to do it again though if you want to do 10 minutes.
I mean, we have an hour, so yeah, sure.
No, I need a long rest. We're camping here tonight.
I'm back. What's up?
They were
Did you
asking. Yeah, go ahead.
Did you happen to disclose that you found the little object or no?
I'll tell the group after combat's done. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you do see that it looks like a talisman almost, like a stone talisman with like these what almost look like bird bones or some kind of bones attached to the front of it in a weird pattern that you said no one had Arcana, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it just looks like a nifty stone talisman with a strange bone pattern on the front of it.
And is he showing it to us, or?
Yeah, I think he said he was showing it.
Well, guys, I vote we destroy it because I don't know
No.
who's gonna pay for this.
Hold on. How would you do a background check? Would I have any way to roll to see if I might have any inclination what this might be?
So Arcana could give you an idea. Other than that, you could spend an hour during a rest and try to see what you can figure out about it.
I'll do that, if that's okay with the party.
If
Uh,
we're taking a long rest, can my owl find us down here? Or what would she do?
I mean, you could just bring her down here if you want, or you could have her sit up top and keep watch or something.
Okay, so she can just find me whenever she wants. Okay.
Well, I think you can summon her, so you can dismiss her, then re-summon
Yeah.
her. But she can't necessarily
Okay.
just find you. If she's within 100 feet, I think she can mentally communicate, so you could tell her where you are. And she is within 100 feet. You can sense she's close. She's probably up on the roof right now, just watching.
Did she find anything?
She would say that the area looks clear right now, but I can keep watching up here.
Okay.
Or I can come
But-
down into the basement.
Then I'm gonna have her keep watch outside.
Alright. So, I'm going to pass some time.
Are we doing a long rest? Because right now it's pretty late. It's like maybe 8 or doesn't know how long the fighting was.
At this
I
point,
like how it would only sorry, go ahead.
you would guess from the sun's positioning it's probably about 5 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
But
How many rounds were there? 3? Total?
yeah, I mean, it wasn't a long fight, but you have also been doing a lot of searching and walking around, so
I see, I
it's
see.
been a few hours. That said, you could just sit down here and wait out until tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Would that be a long rest?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'd start with a short rest because you could do an hour, and then you'd keep waiting. And
I see.
yeah. So, yeah, do you want to just pass time down here and wait?
Yeah.
Sure.
But if you want to know mechanics, just for every round of combat is only 6 seconds, so
Yeah.
we were only fighting for 18 seconds in total.
I see. Okay. Okay.
It's just if you find it interesting and
It
all.
was just chaotic as hell because there were
Yeah.
zombies running around punching people. All right. So the first hour would pass, no issue. It's probably about 6 o'clock. Go ahead and spend hit dice if you want to heal.
Yeah, I think I will.
Oh, you get a message from your owl, Tal. She says, I think I see some kind of armored creatures moving around near the farm.
I'm gonna tell that to the party immediately.
Are they making their way towards us, or let us know if they get close to the entrance?
They look like hobgoblins.
I don't think she knows what hobgoblins are.
You can look
What?
through it, eyes, can't you?
Yeah. Right, I can. Apparently I can.
You want to warg into her vision?
Yeah.
All right. So you take a moment to concentrate. Suddenly, seeing an owl's vision from high above, there are, it looks like 9 hobgoblins walking through the area on the road. They're not coming towards the farm, though. You think they're just heading to the west right now.
Yeah. I'm gonna pop back out and tell them what I saw.
All right. By the way, just so you know, you can still talk while you're in your owl vision, but you can't hear any of us.
Yeah, basically you're just seeing through her eyes, so you're
okay.
like for purposes of you, you're blinded. But you can still, I think, hear because you don't
No, you
hear.
can't hear either when you're
Really?
familiar. Yeah,
Oh,
Huh.
all right.
because you've got the sight and the smell and everything. You got
Oh,
all the
is it
senses
all
of
the
the bird.
senses? I thought it was
Yeah,
just
but
sight. Okay.
it's all of it. But you can still talk.
Interesting. All right. So yeah, you would just have her senses. So yeah, deaf and blind. So yeah, when you come back, you would see your party again and hear them. But you can, like you said, you can talk while you're looking through your owl sight.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm still gonna pop back out because I want to hear them. So
Yeah.
Well, how about we have the owl track them from within sight, and we stay even further behind the owl, so that way we can try and track them back to their base.
And I need to rest. I have nothing left in my arsenal. I have no magic in me at all.
Did we finish the rest?
No.
What does
You
a short
did
rest
a
do for
you did a
long
short
rest?
rest. So
Okay.
short rest, you can spend hit die, and certain classes have resources to gain back.
Yeah,
Like monk
I'm
gets
gonna
key
use-
points. I think druid gets
Warlock.
wild shapes. But
Warlocks get theirs back.
yeah, exactly.
But I wouldn't get my spell. Okay, that's fine.
No, yeah, you need a long rest for that. So Shock would say, "Can your owl track them,
Yeah.
and maybe you look through its sight tomorrow and see where they are?"
she's gonna be too far away, but I can have her follow them to their camp and have her fly back to us.
Ah, yeah, that could work while we sleep here.
Yes.
He
Did somebody
nods.
take I'm gonna go check to make sure somebody took the heads off the zombies.
I don't think anyone took their heads off. They're just dead.
Yeah, I'm taking the heads off just to be safe and putting them somewhere else. They put them in the crate.
All right.
You're great.
You take some time to butcher the zombie heads and drop them in the crate.
You never can be too careful.
I'm gonna start setting up a tent over here. From what it looks like,
So,
We're
who
done
was
here.
examining the
I will if that's okay.
trinket? So, as you're kind of looking at this thing, you're turning it over. You notice there are markings on the back of it. What languages do you speak?
Common, Draconic, Elvish, and Quora.
Alright. Unfortunately, you don't know what it says.
I'm gonna show it to everybody. So is anybody able to read this?
I know halfling and common.
No, it's neither of those.
I know
No
Infernal.
gnomish.
No, it's not Gnomish.
I know Abyssal.
Oh, well, it's not Abyssal, but that's interesting.
Infernal as well was said.
No, it would be none of those, unfortunately. So there is a strange language on the back of this, and then you speak.
One more level. Actually, no. Wait. If we're taking a long rest, spells do I have access to?
Actually, what am I doing? Setting up a tent. I don't need a tent.
No, down here
I start
you
putting my
don't.
I start putting my tent away.
I'm just.
The battle shock is getting me, boys.
Just like, what are you doing? Oh, I don't know. So yeah, Shock
you don't.
says some strange archaic nonsense. All right, well, I guess I'm going to sleep. And he sort of sits up against the corner here and gets in his sleeping bag. Does anyone want to do anything, or are you just trying to pass time?
Well, I will ask again. Like, are we all doing long rest, or is one person going to maybe stay up and keep watch?
Well, you would
Should
probably. So, I guess we haven't worked on a watch order yet for this group. So everyone has to rest unless you have something that doesn't that lets you skip it, or else like you would get exhaustion.
I see. I see.
So there are 3 watches for a rest. There's evening, night, and dawn, and usually you put 2 people on each watch. Usually you want people with dark vision during the night one. And usually you want like at least one person in that watch with good perception in case something comes.
Okay. So
Or do we need an uninterrupted 8 hours, or just 8 hours between those 12?
It's I think it's 6 hours, and no, you can take shifts. So,
Okay.
here.
I was just making sure. Some people say it has to be consecutive sleep or rest, and some people just say it has to be cumulative in
No.
time frame.
Yeah, no, you're okay. Even if you get into a battle, you can still go back into do the full 8 hours.
Okay.
Who is the quartermaster of this group? Was that Bo?
That'd be me. Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna give you a thing called Group Watch. You should see at the top of the journal right now. And yeah, just mark who you want on each watch for evening, night, and morning. Since there's 5 of you, I think you can do like 2-1-2 or 1-2-2.
I
Which
can't edit it at the moment.
really? Hang on. Did I not give you the permissions? Oh, I didn't. I don't know what I'm doing. Sorry. You should be able to edit it now.
All right.
So yeah, once I know who's doing what watch, if something happens during the evening, I can know who's going to be awake for it.
I'll take the whatever watch doesn't require night vision.
Evening or morning
I'll
would be the best for
Okay.
you then.
I'll do morning.
And I'll do the evening one.
And
Who's that? Because voices and names is confusing me still.
oh,
Zerx is the evening.
I'll invite Zaquine to join me on morning shift.
Zach will probably be better off with her ignite because she's got night vision as well.
True. Okay, so 2 at night, and then I'll invite Shock then to wake up early with me.
Sure, I could do morning watch with you.
I guess it's you and me, Tal, for the first
Yeah.
watch.
Okay.
Probably already asleep.
No.
All right, and I'm going to move the
All right,
group
saved.
watch. Yeah, I'm going to move that to character info, just so it's under there. All right, so you're taking watches, and you said you sent your owl to follow the hobgoblins, right?
Yeah.
Tal?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, okay. All right, so night is passing. Give me a d20 roll.
That's 19.
All right. So during your, I'll say, during the night watch, give me those on night watch. Give me perception checks. Is anyone upstairs watching, or are you all just down here?
I'm downstairs. I'm close to the door though.
Yeah. So give me perception checks. Those who are awake during night watch.
Night. Okay.
Yeah. Whatever 2 people those were.
That was me and Zach.
Nice.
All right.
That's
So
wrong.
No, what
oh,
the fuck? No double crit.
Zach and Scurry's ears just twitch a little, like, what was that? You actually, yeah, so you're sitting there on watch, kind of just relaxing, when you hear kind of off in the distance, even with the cellar closed, which is pretty impressive, it sounds like yells, as if someone is yelling about something. Doesn't sound
So
like it's
Klein will
close
go ahead
by.
and stand up.
Okay.
Are we taking a look?
I'll go take a look.
Alright, so you creep up the stairs and open up the wooden doors. And once you do that, the noise is definitely louder. It sounds... Look at all these 20s. It sounds like someone is yelling help. Somewhere far off in the distance.
Why don't you go ahead and wake up the group, and I'll go take a look, unless we don't want to engage with this. What's your call, Zach?
Well, if somebody needs help, shouldn't really leave them.
Up to you.
I'll go rouse the others.
Alright, so you're all awakened from your slumber, and
Short rest completed or not? Or long rest, sorry.
long rest not yet, because it's still the
Okay,
middle of
fine.
the night.
Let's reset some stuff.
She's not friendly. She probably just kicks you.
Oh.
I just get up.
Wake up with exhaustion.
Ow.
Well, you don't have exhaustion yet. You don't have exhaustion unless you
I
fail.
don't know. It's just a joke.
But yeah, you don't have your resources back yet, unfortunately. So I assume you're telling everyone what you heard.
Yep.
Meanwhile, I went ahead to scout to see what's up.
Oh goodness. I guess we gotta go check it out then.
So 27. As you're moving along the road towards the noise, you would see a torch moving through the night. It looks like someone is running at full speed away from a group that you can't really see well because it is nighttime. That is pursuing him, her. It sounds like a man running away.
How far away?
You would judge about 300, maybe 400 feet.
And how many? Is there any way for us to tell how many pursuers are chasing after him, or no?
So Scurry, give me a perception check. And it is dark, so you have disadvantage.
220s, go.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna roll low. It's obviously. Perception.
Oh,
That's not bad.
You think he's being pursued by, looks like 4 or 5 hobgoblins. It's hard to say.
All right.
What's going on, Scurry?
So Scurry is not with the group right now. He's a
okay.
Yeah, he snuck away from the house, and he's basically like at the corner of where the two roads intersect. Like you guys are all still down under the house. He's probably about 60 or 70 feet away from you, over in the grass, hiding.
I see.
You might see him if you peek out of the basement, like kind of.
Oh yes. Can I do that?
Sure, yeah. So you would see him about 60 feet away, taking cover in the grass, watching something, and you would all still hear the yelling.
What do you guys want to do?
Can I try and move at an angle where I can cut him off, more or less, like head towards a point where I can intercept him?
So they are running right towards you. Just to use I'll show you as an example. Like if, you see where the white is here? I guess here, let me just turn off the lighting so everyone can see. So basically, and I'll delete the zombies because we don't need them anymore. So like you're hidden kind of at the edge of the farm here. Like say this is the road, this 5-foot square coming from the north. Like they'd be up here running down towards you. And the rest of the group is like back here at the house.
All right, and it's about 60 feet that way, right? In that case,
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and just...
So this is like a crossroad. Like there's a road going this way, which is where you saw those first hobgoblins earlier. The road goes north, south, and east as well. And they're basically up north right now, running down towards you.
I'll dash back to the group, tell them what I'm seeing, and ask them to help me lay down an ambush while they're running down here.
Alright, are you going to try to stealth or just run back?
They're 300 feet away. I'll stealth just to be sure, yeah.
Alright, so give me stealth at disadvantage if you're dashing.
Okay. Imagine it shouldn't be too hard in the cover at night. It's a Black Panther.
No, you think you're pretty safe. Unless you roll really... yeah. Well, go ahead, roll again since it's disadvantage.
Oh yeah, disadvantage, that's right.
Yeah, you're fine. Just just under cover of night, you dash back over here, and yeah, I guess
We don't even see him.
Yeah, suddenly he just jumps out.
Show up behind you.
Intro. All right, so you tell them what you saw.
Yep. There's a couple people, about 5 hobgoblins running down the road, trying to chase somebody. We can go lay an ambush over quick.
Are we up to this? Shock says. I think one of us at least said they didn't have their spells.
Multiple of us, I believe.
Shock says, I'm ready to fight, but I just want to make sure we're not getting in over our heads. I want to save this guy if possible.
I would like to save him as well, but this is a very dangerous situation we find ourselves in.
We've got him on the surprise as long as we take out one very quickly, maybe two. We should have the upper hand even if we don't have our spells.
And you also
Yeah,
gotta
I
remember,
can try to get the guy out quietly.
and you
Yeah,
also
well,
gotta
let's
remember
talk on the way.
None of us can see in the dark.
I can see in the dark.
Me too.
You two need to go pick one off.
And there's a torch. The guy running is holding a torch, so we'll have sight.
Alright.
Alrighty.
So I'm going to use this old farm map that we used before, just to make this easier. So you are all at the house right now, underneath it. I'll just say, like, in this area.
But again, if you want to avoid a fight, I can try to grab the guy and.
He's holding a torch. They'll see the torch drop.
I think Zach and Scurry should just head out and try to snag him, and then we'll try to avoid fighting. But they should probably
Alright.
head out now, or else
Well-
the opportunity's gonna be gone.
If he drops the torch, that'll give them something to be distracted over, and
True.
It will ruin the element of surprise that we have on the attack, though.
So what light source does the group have right now? Because I know some of you can't see.
We have a candle, and then since we closed the lid, it's just a candle.
Alright, so if you
But
look...
actually, it's open again, so we should have like a.
Yeah, I mean, I
night
guess there's
sky.
some moonlight. I wish there was a way you could simulate moonlight. Here, who doesn't have sight right now?
Me.
Me.
That's, who is that? Who's
Invert.
me?
Nalo.
Alright, so Nalo, I'll give you 20/20 for right now. Or 20 feet of night vision. I'll say you can see about 20 feet in the darkness.
Okay.
Who else doesn't have it?
Zerks.
Zerks. Alright. Since I'll say, yeah, there's some moonlight so you can kind of see. And anyone else, or is that it?
Tao, do you have night vision?
Yeah, I don't have. I see black right now. So
Okay, so yeah, I'll give some to you too. I'll say 20 feet. Alright, now you should see. And actually from here, yeah, so from here, if you zoom out, you would see kind of up in this area, like coming from up north, a torch moving south very quickly as someone's yelling, "Help!" and probably being chased. So what do you want to do?
I nudged Scurry and Zach to head out already.
And actually,
I'm already headed that way.
we are getting kind of close to the 2 o'clock. Do we want to call it here and do this encounter next time?
That'd be fun.
I could get it set up a little bit better,
Yeah.
but all right.
That gives you more time to set up, yeah.
All right, so go ahead and give me a whisper with MVP vote, or you thought it should be MVP for the session. You whisper basically with this command.
We're done already? Come on, it was having fun.
Well, it's 2 o'clock.
He's got other clients.
Man, I guess I could do like 2 minutes of battle, but it's basically like roll initiatives, and then we'd be done.
Yeah.
All right, I
2
got one
minutes, I
vote.
can kill some guys.
You can't vote for the NPCs. I mean,
I
you
can.
could,
Rip.
you can, but I mean, they can't get inspiration points. So.
Sure you can. God bestows a blessing upon you, child.
Shock rolled kind of low. Let's. I think he'd probably use his blessing right about now.
Shock MVP.
No, I'll choose someone else.
What about on the Twitch? What do you guys think? Who's MVP? You can give me a vote if you want.
I did Scurry last week.
There's a wrong answer and there's a right answer.
There's
The right answer is shock.
The right answer is Shock. Shock MVP for real, for
What
real.
did Shock do that was so MVP?
He was
Exist.
like just chilling, like a Chad.
He's moral. He's the best moral hype support man there ever was.
He's the moral compass of the group.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't think we should be robbing basements. Shut up, Shock.
This zombie needed to be. This basement needed to be robbed. It's full of zombies. There's stuff that needs to be taken from here.
Yeah, the MVP is compensation for dragging him along.
Alright, I think I need 2 more votes.
I messaged
Probably
you on
send in
Discord.
Discord.
You sent them in Discord. Alright, let me check Discord. Alright, I got a Discord one, and... Okay. So I think... It's like a tie between Zerx and Shock. So Zerx, give me a d20 roll. Let's see if Shock wins it or if you win it.
I'll roll for shock.
I will concede for Shock.
I rolled a 19 for shock.
Let's go.
I have to fail this roll.
I mean, if you guys really want, I can give Shock the MVP point, but he can't
Let's
use
go.
inspiration points, so...
It's okay.
Alright, sure. Shock.
There we go. I rolled a
Oh,
20.
alright, so I guess
Just
Zerx is
kidding, I know.
MVP.
Nah, you didn't roll a d20.
I know. I just rolled 20.
Oh, you cheater.
I forgot to put the D in front of it.
Gotta watch out for you.
That was just funny.
Oh shit.
Alright, I guess Shock is MVP. Congrats, Shock.
Hey, let's go.
Thank you,
Shock.
everyone.
Hey.
I did my best.
It's the DM that actually wins the MVP this time.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna give my inspiration points to the Hobgoblins.
We expect nothing
I
less
was
from
about
you.
to say, yeah.
Nothing less would be expected.
The Hobgoblins are inspired next battle.
They
Alright,
don't know why though. They just know
They're like,
feeling.
shock, I like that guy. That guy's great.
It's like-
Dumb.
looks like the Twitch audience gave it to Zerx. But yeah, we'll say Shock
Twitch
is
audience
MVP.
is wrong.
Come on, Twitch audience.
Gosh.
Alright, so what time was it? It was like about
we got through.
it's like 1
we got through
a.m. I
lunch
think. Yeah, when we ended.
Yeah.
So it's 90th of summer, 1 a.m. when we end. Alright,
Finish up the journal.
yeah. So who did journal last week? Did they post it yet?
I need to
Not
post
yet.
it still.
Alright, so make sure you reserve a spot. Just like put something there, like to reserve it, so we keep them in order.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah,
then
yeah, sure.
the next person can post after that. Any questions before we wrap for the week?
I'll message you what I might consider doing if it's okay later.
All right. Well, I hope everyone had fun, and
Good.
I'll keep looking for our 6th player. And I'm going to take some notes on the
alright.
game, but yeah, I'll be around if anyone needs to talk about anything.
Alrighty, sounds
yep.
good.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you for the game.
Yep. See
Thank
you
you.
next time.
Bye.
Nalo, did you need something?
I was actually gonna ask really quick. So, I have 4 spells. One of them is Unseen Servant. I was
Yeah.
just gonna ask, like, with Unseen Servant, like, if I just summon that, well, like, could I just? It'll take a spell slot, but it'll just like be existing for like an hour, and it can just kind of do things like fold laundry and stuff, or.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to just have it around to do menial tasks, you could, but that does take one of your spell slots.
Yeah, but so like, cause I have it because it seems really cool, like a fun, nifty spell to have. But I don't think I'd ever use it during combat. Like, if I were to use it like out of combat, would it be able to like cook food?
Yeah, I mean, Unseen Servant isn't really a combat spell, I don't think. It is
Yeah.
more something that you use out of combat to, I mean, there's a lot of things you could do with it, having an invisible dude that can run around and do stuff for you. But you could also have it do things like, sure, if you want to, like, clean up your pack or, I don't know, whatever you'd have it do. Yeah, it's definitely more of a utility spell that is used for flavor, and it can be useful, like if you summon it to the other side of a gate or something and have it open a gate for you.
Mhm.
Like there's a
That
bunch of
makes
stuff
sense,
it
yeah.
can do.
So the area is like 50 or 60 feet, so I can summon it 60 feet away, or
I believe so. I think as long as you have line of effect, so as long as you can, I don't know if you even have to see the area. You just have to. The line to the area can't be blocked by anything.
Mhm.
So like, if you want to summon it through a window or through like a bar, a bunch of bars, or yeah, I'd have to check the spell.
okay, okay. I can just quickly display it in the yeah, medium force. The only reason
Yeah, so
I think
unoccupied space on the ground within range, so any place within 60 feet.
would the components have to be at the place, like the string and the pieces
No,
of wood?
would just be on you. It doesn't have to be where you summon it.
I see. Okay. Thank you. I was just wondering about that.
Sure.
But I'm gonna ask. Did you get my invoice or the paid?
I haven't checked since I started running the game, but I'll probably check later.
Yeah. If it's not there, just like message me tonight, and I should get to you by like at least tomorrow. I think maybe.
Yeah, no, we'll figure it out. That's fine.
Thank you. Bye.
Oh, I still have the stream going. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed watching. I'll be on in a couple hours, 5:30. So what is that? 3.5 hours from now for the evening game. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed watching, and I'll hopefully see you then. Take care.